Hey guys, welcome to the live. I got lucky and got our 4 o'clock slot for Sunday afternoons for the Shed Wars community, and I'm excited to be here. Hopefully, this is all working out good. Let me know if you can hear me. This is my first time going live, so I'm not even certain that it's reaching you yet. Let me know. Can you hear me out there? I am super excited to be here. Really excited to talk about what you guys are going to be growing, get to know a little bit of you. Hi, honey, so you can see me. Good, good. How's the volume? Is the volume good or is my mic too loud? Perfect. I'm super excited. Well, while it's a little quiet here in the chat, I think I'm going to play around a little bit here and see if I can share my screen, see how all that's working. Hey, Muddy Boots Gardner. Great to have you here. Perfect. I wasn't sure. This is my very first time going live, so I figure it's going to be a little bumpy, but we'll see. How's the weather where you're at, Muddy Boots? I absolutely agree. I definitely picked up on your lead on that as well too. And it is a question that I actually do get asked quite often. But for sure, for sure, the best gardeners I know are actually quite a bit older than I am. So still learning. Yeah, it was pretty nice here too. I got to split a bunch of wood. Um, got a bunch of that done today. Actually worked up a sweat. So it looks like hopefully things are going to get a little bit warmer, but I don't know. We'll see. It's still here in Michigan, so you never know what it's going to be like tomorrow. I'm going to try and share my screen. I want to see if this works. I'm just going to play around a little bit here and see. I want to see if I can show my farm layout that I've been working on. All right, can you guys see that? Hopefully. So if you can, perfect, because I can't see it right now. But these green blocks, one, two, three, the small hoop and a small block, is our existing bed space right now. The ones in orange are the ones that we're going to expand this year, and then hopefully a couple remote locations put in another couple blocks of beds. All right, so that worked okay. It's kind of weird on my end. I can't really see what's going on. Wonder. So Muddy Boots Gardener, I gotta say, I love the new channel. I think it was a great move, to be honest with you. Yeah, I did. I used the share app on StreamYard to pull that up. I want to try something if you wouldn't mind. Would you mind jumping up here if I can figure out how to share it? I don't blame you a bit for starting over. Sometimes it's well worth it. Mm, Mm. I guess I'm not sure how to do it, so I'm not even I'm not even sure I'm gonna figure it out, but we'll give it a try here. Hmm. I don't think I'm gonna be able to figure it out today, unless somebody can explain it to me. Otherwise, I'll just have to figure it out and try it next time. So, how are your chickens doing? We're actually thinking about getting some this year again. We did have chickens in the past, but for the last couple of years, our neighbors have actually been our egg providers. So they've weeded out their flock, and I'm not sure they're going to get back into it or not yet. So we may end up getting a few layers. We're not sure. Well, I'm glad it all is all coming in good. Hopefully, I'm seeing all the chats. I think I am. Okay. Um, let's see. What link do I email you, Muddy Boots? Oh, let's see here. Oh, I see. Sorry, I was blind there for a second. Actually, clipboard. Can I? Does that work by me putting that in the chat? Can you click on that? Aha,
There you
there you
go.
are. I see you.
See, now that's how it works.
All right, that was easy enough.
Yeah.
First time for everything.
Now, if you want to, well, let me take my glass. Now, if you want to send somebody an email, you just email them that to their
Okay,
email. And all they got to do when they come on their computer, wherever that, they'll click on the email and they'll come to StreamYard if they have StreamYard.
right.
But here's the way you do it: you copy it, you bring it over to the chat, paste it, whatever how you do it, and it'll pop up in the comment section, and then somebody just click on, but they gotta cut their YouTube off. They
Gotcha.
gotta cut the volume on the YouTube off, and then you won't have that echoing.
Right.
So
Does
this is
it
how
all
you
sound
do it.
good? Everything
Yeah,
sound good to
sounds
you?
great. Sounds great.
Perfect. Perfect. You never know. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah, so
surprised it's
that's
still
how you
streaming.
do it. I've just begun to, and like I said, I shut down my channel. And
Yep.
everybody thought I was crazy, but it was too much hassle. Um, and I just start all over, even though I could have just changed the name and kept my 900 some subscribers.
Sure.
But I said, you know what? I'm gonna prove it to people that if you got God with you, you get it all back.
I agree with you 100%. No, I'm totally supportive of what you did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
So what?
I was one of the first ones to subscribe up to it. So
Yeah, because what it is you notice the community. Everybody's now putting God in their gardens, in their
mhm.
community. That was the whole goal, is to get the gardeners who call themselves Christian to start putting God in their videos and putting scriptures or speak on them. A lot of us
Sure.
got caught up in YouTube and we forgot about them. We were worried about Corona and Trump and all the nonsense, and we just forgot about like asking God for help and stuff.
It's easy to
So
get distracted, you know.
Yeah.
But
So it just came to me in the middle of the night. Was like God was like saying, just dead the channel and start all over in God's name and just put Him in the front. Put the Bible scriptures in it and just change your channel. Because a
yep.
lot of people are getting lost. They taking this as their church now. They taking YouTube as their church.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I think it was a smart move for you for sure. You got to do what you feel is right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people they can't go to church. So what happened is they forget about church and they stick it on YouTube. You can get on YouTube any giving day or time. Is people
Right.
flock.
Yeah.
And you're like, where these people are, where anybody talking about scriptures, anybody talking about God? Nobody's talking about them.
No.
It's like we just all caught up and now people can't go to church. So that's giving them another use of just doing nothing.
Yeah. No, I think it's great because now you're giving them something to go for. You know. So no, I
Yeah.
think it's
So
perfect. You know, I try to start my day giving thanks every day. You know, and that just keeps me on track. So, you know, whether
yeah.
stuff's shut down or not. And, you know, that's why I like farming every day, man. I'm out there by myself, hands in the dirt, loving it. I farm small scale, all hand tools. So, you know, I'm getting into it.
Yes, I'm on a 1.03 acres. I'm on the backyard, on the side yard of the house. So I tell people like that's why I was micro farmer. And then I was like, what happened was with my situation was it seemed like people worship me, and that's not what I wanted. It was
Right.
like they were always like, "Where's micro farmer? He's everywhere. He's everywhere. He's this way. He's that way." And it was like y'all missing the whole point. Y'all missed the whole
Yep.
point of what it was. It was like, and that's why I shut it down and came back with muddy boots. That's where you see the logo is like boots. You coming out the mud on fertile ground. We came from the mud. All that stuff you see right there was like a vision from God, like the boots in the dirt. It was like
Yeah.
that's
I thought it was perfect.
and it was Muddy Boots. Even though Muddy Boots were, there's a couple of names Muddy Boots in Australia, but it was Muddy Boots Gardener. Like you gardening and you out there in the mud, and we come
Hi,
from the
Dora.
mud. Yeah, we come from the mud, and it was just like that's what you need to do. And lately, I've been watching the community. Now, a lot of people are getting and talking to Christians and whatever they want to do, starting to mention them. They're starting to put scriptures in their videos. Like I ain't say you got to go out there and preach it, but in the beginning of your video, at the end of your video, put a scripture there from the Bible. Like this is what you do. You get your Bible and you put a scripture there. You don't have to read it. Just get somebody to look at it and say, hey, you know what? I am a Christian. I'm a God-fearing person. You know, I mean, it's up to the individuals. If
Yeah.
you
No,
get
I think it's perfect though. I love the idea of having it, you know, like, I remember if it was Arkansas woodcutter or Aquarius. I think it was woodcutter,
yeah.
but you know, he had it on the chalkboard right behind him. You know, as
Oh
he
yeah, he got
started,
that.
and then a new one as he finished his video. I thought it was
What's so
perfect.
funny is we talked that morning, and then he said, I didn't think, but he used to hold Sunday prayer and stuff like that. But then he stopped because, I'm too busy. I'm working. I'm on the road. And I'm like, okay, you're too busy for God.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are Christians who are getting caught up in this nonsense and they're getting too busy. And
Sure.
they go, oh, I haven't been to church since the corona. I haven't been to church. And I'm like, okay, church does, you don't have to go in a church. You can actually do it here, talk among each other. Now you're not just dealing with people in your town, in your little town. You're talking to Christians all across America, across the world, really.
Right.
So,
No,
you
I
know,
think it's perfect. It's a great reach, you know, and that's a big reason I started my YouTube channel. I'm launching a podcast for the same reason because I can only reach so many people in my community,
yeah,
you know, physically. But
yeah,
man, with YouTube and you can reach a lot of people and help a lot of people and teach a
exactly.
lot of people to grow their own food. And I'm super passionate about that, growing
Yeah.
food and feeding people, you know. I operate on a small scale operation as well. I'm only operating on about bed space, only about a quarter acre.
Okay. I'm on a
But
smaller one.
you know,
yeah.
I mean, it's larger than a backyard, but it's still, you know, it's not like a huge
Yeah.
farm by any means.
Yeah.
But you know, I maximize my space, and I'm growing on. Last year, I grew on 32 50-foot beds
Yeah.
and 6 20-foot beds, and I'm going to add about 20 more this year. You know, just to
So,
feed more. I run a CSA, so I'm feeding quite a few
okay.
families as well
Got
as ours. So
cool.
it's fun stuff, man.
Yeah, because I was looking at when you was describing like people like even though we was talking about disabled before I came over here was disabled people when you start create the raised bed where you don't have to bend your back over, you don't have to
Right.
bring it up about 30 inches where you at the waist level or chest, at the belly button where you can work, without bending over. So if you even have a disability, you still get out there and garden. So that was a whole lot of things that came forward because a lady reached out to me who was disabled, and I didn't have a clue about disabled gardening. I was like,
Sure.
I put that out to the people when I was microphone. I was like, anybody know anything? Because I don't know too much about being disabled. And I like that's something that we was all missing. Like people who are here trying to grow can't grow because they have wheelchairs or they limited, they can't bend because they back issues.
Yep.
And that was the thing. That was it. But then I just realized everybody's getting lost. And when I disappear for one day, everybody's going, where is he? Where is he? Like I'm the Messiah. And I was like, yo, this is not what I chose not to do. It was like they waited for me. Like everybody wanted me on a channel. Everybody wanted me in their lives. And I'm like, okay, this is not what I want.
Hey, fork and allotment.
Oh, fork and allotment. Yes. Okay. Welcome. See, stay here. People come through. And that's
appreciate you guys coming over here.
There's another thing when you do your lives, right? And I know this was a test live for you. It was that the people that follow you should have just did a StreamYard. You can actually put out an announcement that you're going to go live.
Yep.
So, even though you just did it on the spare of the moment, but you can put up and it'll post up in your YouTube channel and it'll go to your subscribers that you're going to go live at 2, 3, 4.
Right. I was wondering about that too. I pre-scheduled it. And so I did have my wife check on her phone, and it did pop up in her stream as coming on. The thumbnail did, but it didn't hit her notifications.
Yeah.
So not sure how to work that.
You can't, because everybody's having that issue with YouTube. I don't know if it's just because, see, a lot of people think YouTube is ran by people. It's really ran by AI.
Right.
It's the computer doing this. It's glitches in it. Everybody's having that issue about I didn't get the notifications. It's a thing that's going on YouTube. I don't know if it's something they are monitoring or they doing. I don't know.
So I didn't screw it up though anyway.
Yeah, you didn't screw up. You did fine. You did fine. Like I said, now you know how to bring people up. You go over to the chat.
Yeah.
Put it up. Come up.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate it for sure. I appreciate the help. So you don't have to stay up here if you don't want to. You're more than welcome to. I did drop in the chat if anybody else wants to join us. So
I was upstairs. I was just watching movies. I was upstairs just chilling. Like I said, it was just the girls. Everybody's just relaxing. School back tomorrow, and I was just taking the day, just sitting around, scomming through here. I watched a few YouTubers live. Like I watched Ken Folks Family Farm.
Yep.
It was a few people that's out here, and then I was just figuring out stuff on my YouTube channel where I took the subscriber. Like you can't see my subscribers.
Right.
So, we only have this amount of subscribers. I just took that off. Then I was playing around where I was trying to eliminate trolls, what they call trolls.
Yep.
I'm not too sure if this is the way I did it. It's where I was watching YouTubers. YouTubers learn how to do it. Is that people can't watch a video unless they subscribe to you. So they have to hit the subscribe button to watch a video. So like you see how we looking now? And you ever notice somebody live, you say, say for instance, about 10 people in your chat, right? But then it says 20 something people watching. Those are your trolls.
Gotcha.
You can't control those trolls because now what they're doing is that's what I was going through. And a lot of hate was coming through. They wasn't in the chat. So you say, I only got 20 or 12 people, but it's saying 32 people's watching me.
Right.
And you're going, okay, these are the people that sit behind the scene and they're hoping you say something wrong so they can jump on you or talk about you.
Right.
That's what happened with me. And I was like, this is what I cut out for.
Can't you block those people though? Put them in a timeout?
No. Right now, somebody could be watching me and you talking right now. They're not in your chat.
You can only block them from the chat, but not watching, obviously.
Yeah, they're not watching. See, YouTube haven't come. But the thing is, I was going on YouTube here. YouTube saying they cannot watch your videos unless they subscribe to you. See, I mean, it might not work for small videos, small people, but I haven't done a live, so I don't know exactly. I know if you go out, you have to be subscribed to my channel to watch my videos.
Gotcha.
So now I got to go out and get my wife to just go and see if she can watch my videos without subscribing to me.
So now, that was a special setting then.
Yeah, the special setting through YouTube Studio, which I was doing that today, and I was figuring out. So I set it up, and you will see you can hit my icon. Like you see how I don't see your icon. We have an icon, right?
Yep.
So the subscribe button, you can put your icon where they just like you see they click on the muddy boots and they'll say subscribe. or you will see in the corner of the banner where it's be a subscribe button. It'll say subscribe to Muddy Boots, and then it'll actually, do you really want to subscribe? Now, according to the YouTube world, now the people that do this stuff is that the person can't watch a video without subscribing to you. So it's not like you're open to the public, but they have to subscribe to you to watch your video. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'll see.
Interesting, but it would probably cut out some of the trolls.
Yeah, because they have to subscribe to you to watch you.
Right.
So it's not a private setting.
Okay.
If you're not subscribed to the channel, you just can't watch it.
Right. That's interesting, for sure.
So I don't know if anybody with Kevin and Jeannie and Fork and Allotments here. I mean, I don't know if they know anything about it, if they still here.
Jeannie's my wife.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then you got Kevin and who else is here? And Fork Allotment. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because this is a great thing about live right now and talking to somebody is just that now you know what you're doing. I mean, you got an idea of how to do it. So
absolutely, no, and I appreciate it. It's always nice to have somebody to talk to anyway. So.
And the thing I would say, like, if you got people actually follow you and you follow them, you know, go up on a live. Like, if anybody want to come up,
go right. Up. Yep.
Because once you go up, and I know a lot of people are scared because they think they're gonna mess up. Dude, this is what I said. I'm not the greatest speaker either. Nobody cares about how you say. They want that simplicity. They don't want somebody to come in here and give. Like with your garden, right? Here it goes. This will make me a little bit popular. I'm a regular guy. I'm not telling you trifectas and microbiology. I'm just telling you what works for me.
Right.
People want simplicity. Yep. They don't want you to come here with all these chemicals and all these big names, and you lose them in less than 5 minutes. It's almost like
I agree. I agree. I'm not a scientist. I'm just a farmer.
Yeah. So give them the basic. You go down there, you take some cow manure, some hay, some alfalfa, and that's what you do. When you go into that, the pH got to be 3.45 this, 1/4 cup of this, and 1/5. You done lost half the people on your channel.
Yeah, I don't even do measurements, man. I mean, I've got a roundabout in the canister how full it's going to be, but
there you go.
As the name says, simplistic farms, we keep it that way.
A can of corn as you open and use, I put a half a can of this corn mix, use stuff that people have around the house. Like, you see how much is in this can? That's how much you put in there, fertilizer.
Yeah.
If you don't care about organic, listen, trust me, organic ain't nothing but poo-poo. I know everybody talks organic.
Well, we are all organic. I mean, as far as we don't add any chemicals. Okay, we don't advertise organic. We're natural. I mean, I use alfalfa meal and kelp meal, some blood meal and bone meal, and some dried chicken manure.
But here it goes. When I tell people that, I say, okay, these other people can't afford to go organic, so they don't have the access to kelp and that stuff. So okay, you don't live near the ocean. You're in the middle of you just got to use what you got to use to feed your family. Like I said, it's at the end of the day, if you eat anything out of the supermarkets, chances are you got pesticide inside you.
Agreed. I'm just not adding to it. I'll use coffee grounds and banana peels.
Yeah.
Before I put liquid on it. Yeah. But that's just me. You know what I mean?
Let me show you something.
Hey, Dora, are you still on here?
Yeah, I'm still.
You need to tell us about growing some flowers.
This is what I just did today. I had some bananas were going bad.
Yeah. Perfect. I do it. That's absolutely perfect.
This is bananas going bad. They was in the refrigerator, turned brownish. I just put them in this right here. Hawaiian punch for the kids. Put them in here. I'm going to let them sit room temperature. The banana's going to break down to a mush. And the banana one. Now, here it goes. Simple. When my wife, we get things shipped to us in ice, right? This is called Evira ice, right?
Yep.
It's a plant-based nitrogen. Comes in the package. When we get cold stuff, they have the packaging. Now this, you go either pour it down the sink or put it on your vegetables. See, it's a food-based nitrogen base. Now, here it goes. It's not free. I mean, we get stuff shipped to us, right? Instead of just tossing this in a garbage can, right? When this is ready, this is concentrated. Pour this in this bottle. Now got potassium and nitrogen in the water. Free fertilizer.
Yeah.
The bananas are 59 cents a pound. It's about half a pound of bananas here. It's like 4 bananas in here, right?
Yep.
4 or 5 bananas. Now they was gonna go bad. Normally, I would probably would have fed to my chickens, but I was like, I need the banana water because keeping up. Put us here, keep it in the house. It's going to be room temperature. And when I'm ready, this is concentrate, cut back, put in that banana water. Now I have, instead of 10, I have phosphates and whatever's off the banana peel, the other vitamins and nutrients out the banana peel, and I have my source of nitrogen right here that I could have thrown away or just push it down the sink, but now I'm using it for my plants. And I have about 6 or 7 of them, and I'll get a water can and I'll use that all around my corn because it's nitrogen, because they're heavy feeders of nitrogen. So it's probably a bag to a gallon probably will give you the nitrogen, which I don't have to even buy fertilizer. And I have last year's crop is outside, which is stunk a mess. I took the vegetables, when the ones that died and was dying down, I took those vegetables, put them in a 6-gallon bucket, filled it with, let the rain water it. Now, I know people talk about it could be toxic to your, but other people that done that, it worked fine for their garden. There wasn't toxicity to their plants.
Right.
So I took the organic matter from the plants that the collard greens I had, the cabbage, the tomato plants, stuff like that. I just let it go to water because one guy, he did that. He had a 55-gallon drum. It by mistake. By mistake, how he found out it works. It rained, and he didn't take the vegetation out of the 55-gallon drum, and it sat there, and he just used it, and it worked because the nutrients that was in the stems, which they always say the most nutrients that are in the stem of the plants, like the potato, the most nutrients is in the skin, but we always skin it. We always skin a potato. We don't eat the skin.
I eat the skin.
Yeah. But that's where the most nutrients are, even with the carrots. I know people.
Absolutely. I don't skin any of that stuff, man.
Yeah, but a lot of people do, and that's where all the nutrients is in the skin of the vegetable. So if you think about it, you just put it in water or something, or you just
No, actually, we do that. We do just the banana peels after I eat the banana.
Yeah.
We'll put the banana peels in a jar of water like that. We might chop them up just a little bit and then throw them in a jar just like that. It works so good. It works so good to feed the plants.
Because I was saying to myself, right, and I always think so. I say, this is simple, basic stuff, right?
Absolutely, everybody can do it.
Now, hold on. Now, here we go. Here go the catch to it, right? I got mason jars, right? I get a bottle from a company. They call it Muddy Waters Banana Water. Muddy Boots Garden Banana Water. It works wonders. You believe me or not, people will buy it for $5 off online.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it. That's $1 million idea, probably. I mean, that's
my garden or your garden, right? And you go, oh my God, his garden looks so great. But here you go. You come up with a bottle, say, hey, listen, I'll send you It Simply Ain't Easy banana water for $3 plus shipping and handling. Guarantee you probably sell out.
I guarantee it. But it works. This is the thing. You'd actually be providing a valuable service if they didn't want to put their own banana peels in water.
There you go. It's just like that company called Hint. It's just simple water and some type of strawberries. They got flavored waters.
Yeah.
Like you pay $3 for that bottle. It's nothing but somebody who sat some strawberries and blueberries in a batch, drained it, whatever, and filtered the water. Now you got a flavored drink, which was basically all you had to do was take some blueberries and take a picture and put it in your refrigerator.
Yep.
They'd rather buy it from the store called Hint.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. The more, and that's what I mean. I don't mean to go out and buy a bunch of stuff, but the more natural stuff we have that we can use, we're all about it. I mean, and I live in Michigan, so I'm not by the ocean, but I do for my farm. I'm producing for a lot, so I have to add stuff. Yeah. But kelp meal and alfalfa meal is about the best natural thing that you could ask for.
Oh yeah.
So I keep it very, very simple. I'm not, anybody wants to use Miracle-Gro, I don't shame them, right? You do what you got to do. But for us, that's how we grow. We just don't add anything, and our customer base expects that. You know what I mean? So
see, that's another thing that a lot of guys who are, what they want to call themselves expert gardeners or been gardening for 30, 40 years, they bash Miracle-Gro. First of all, Miracle-Gro is like you said, you have not bashed. You got to say, if that works for you, it's just something we don't do.
Absolutely.
It's just, but if you're a person that doesn't have access to cow manure, horse manure, chicken manure, rat manure, then you might have to go there. If you don't mind eating that, then you use Miracle Growth. It's $8 a bag.
Right.
It's something you choose not to, but like I said, don't make people feel bad because they use a Miracle Growth. It's like
No,
they
and
don't go.
I would much rather somebody use Miracle grow their own food than not grow their own food. Right.
Exactly.
So whatever works for anybody else. People ask how we do things and what we're doing. So I'm going to tell them, but it's not to shame anybody that's doing it different. There's 100 ways to skin the cat.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just growing food and feeding people is what I say.
That's what I noticed in the community. It was like people were shame. People were like, "Oh, I don't use that garbage. That's synthetic. It's garbage." I'm like, "Okay, you're making people feel bad who don't have access to cow manure or rabbit alfalfa or kelp." Now they're going like, "Oh my God, I'm poisoning myself." Now they don't grow their food.
Nope. You're still growing better food than you're going to buy, in my opinion, for sure.
There you go. Oh, once again, okay, these guys who go here, when I first started, like, it's called survival of the fittest. I keep telling people, when you spray all this stuff and these chemicals and and all this stuff in your vegetables, and it kills the ants or it kills this type of pest, right? You're eating that.
Right.
So you see how small that insect is, but over time, you are consuming the same amount of poison that creature. Yeah. So when you go out there, you're spraying, yeah, you might be calling it organic, but at the same time, that's a killing agent.
Yeah, no, so brother, we don't do any of that. We don't spray anything on our farm. I try to use. What's that?
Survival of the fittest. That's what I call it.
Yeah, we brought in praying mantis last year, and had a bunch of those hatch out as a predatory bug to keep a lot of the insect pressure down, and that worked pretty good. And we'll use row covers for things or diatomaceous earth. There's some different, there's some ways you can go about it without doing any spraying. And for us, we try to keep it as clean as we can.
Yeah. And that's the whole thing. Like me, I don't spray nothing. Now, if I do spray, it's Irish. It's called Irish Spring soap.
Yep.
You shave the original Irish Spring soap.
Yep.
You put it back again. You cut it. You put it in water, and you concentrate it with it because the soap break down.
I've heard of that.
Spray bottle, and you spray it around your trees. It keeps the ants down.
Yep.
Now it does not kill them unless they get drowned by the soap, and it does. But it's not a killing agent. It's just they don't like the smell of the whatever's in it. So it's not a hard-based chemical to kill the perk. But
thanks for working allotment. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's daytime here and it's night there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt, Muddy Boots, but they was.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, just me, you and your wife now.
But I agree with you though, man. I mean, and because there's ant pressure is different everywhere too, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a huge ant problem where I'm at. There's other bugs we deal with, but ants, aren't one of them. And if we did, we'd have to deal with it somehow,
Yeah, because my new thing, I have fruit trees now here, and my issue was, like the wife was laughing, was the squirrels. Before the fruit could even get big, the squirrels just decimating them. I mean, from the peaches to the little apples I had going on.
Right.
The pears are new, so I didn't get no pears, but they should bud up this year. But the squirrels all the trees. So what I did was I have yellow ribbons on the branches where they go like this, flap around.
Yep.
See how that works.
That might keep them off.
I hope it keeps all the string fly around, even with the leaves. The wind will blow those little ribbons. You know how they tie those balloons?
Yep.
That type of and I tied them on the branches. And I see even in the wintertime they are doing that flapping, like that little flappy flap. So hopefully that scares off them. I don't know.
It may do the trick for you. I don't know. Squirrels, they're smart though, man.
Yeah, they are. And then also I'm trying to plant out. I got some lavender seeds. I'm going to plant lavenders around the base of the tree since my tree is small. So I get a lot of sun. So I wouldn't worry about, even if they grow mature at the base of the tree, the sun's going to hit the base of the tree the way we are in the southeast coming down. So the base of the tree will get sunlight. So I'm thinking of lavender there to keep the insects, the mosquitoes out the backyard. I'm doing a whole lot of not just pollinators. I'm trying to get the mosquito count down. Like
smart. You planting any lemongrass?
Yeah, I got lemongrass this year too. A lot's gonna go. If you see my video, well, the videos before these videos, that whole back fence that I was talking about, I'm going to just nothing but pollinate everything I can put back there. Now my issue is I had some young blueberries, and I'm thinking I want to move the blueberry bush. Now I don't know. Wait till the springtime to move them, dig them out because I think I put them in the wrong spot. I really don't want them there.
Yep.
And I'm thinking I can find a better spot, but now I'm like, do I disturb them? Because they're not even a year old. I just got them just before the end of the season.
Okay.
So I'm like, I might have to probably dig real big around them so it feel like they didn't disturb and just move them.
Yeah, probably so.
So I'm
Probably
just
so.
trying
We've
to
got a
figure
few young blueberry bushes going, a couple years old now.
yeah, see, mine's just a couple of months old. I just got
Okay.
to go to the end of the season. So
Yeah.
they got their frost, they got their cold, they covered in snow. So right now they got their first full blast winter probably. So hopefully that strengthen them up.
Yeah, it should. It
Yeah.
should. Yeah, I love fresh blueberries. We want to plant a lot more. A lot more. I love blueberries.
So that's the issue I have there. I'm trying to get a peach tree and another tree. I need two more trees. I mean, I only put so many trees here because they're gonna get mature. So right
Right.
now I got 7 trees. I have 3 apple trees. I got a Honeycrisp,
Nice.
a Macintosh, and a Big Red. And then I have 2 dwarf peach trees, and I have 2 Barlett peach pear trees. That's a Barlett pear trees. Yeah.
Okay.
And the next one I want to do a plum. Probably gonna put it in the front of the house. But
Right on.
the front of the house has just got to be arranged right. So, because we have cameras on our property, and I don't want to put a tree that grows and block the camera.
In the way of the camera.
Yeah, so I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out a way to put these 2 trees. I need 2 more trees, So
We
it's going.
planted some fruit trees. I don't even know, 10 years ago maybe. We get some apple trees and some pear trees.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got one apple tree left, which does produce, but the deer took out the rest of them. And then we've got 2 pear trees. And those
Okay.
pear trees, they're finally producing big pears,
Yeah.
but they don't soften. They never ripen. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the gig is there.
Yeah, I never heard of that.
It's the craziest thing.
You never put them in a brown paper bag? Some people claim brown paper bags will do it. It'll ripen your
Yeah, we
fruit.
didn't try that. We did put them in. We did pick a bunch of them and put them in basically a box last year, and they never really softened up. So I'm not sure. I don't know
I'm
what's
trying
going
to
on.
figure. I'm trying to figure out. Your wife could probably Google this or something. I believe you put the pears in. I think you put it in with a banana. The CO2 from the bananas when it breaks down
Really?
would the CO2 in a brown bag
Hmm.
would it's something with the C2. I don't know if it was a banana you put in the bag with them or something in the bag to give off some CO2. I'm not too sure, but you gotta look it up. I know it's
I
an old
will.
trick.
That's a good idea.
It's an old paper bag trick to ripen up your fruits, like pears and stuff like that. It's an old trick. I don't know if it's a banana you put in there with them, and it gives them this. It builds the CO2 in the bag.
That would make sense. That would make
So,
sense.
which will ripen them up.
Huh.
Or room temperature, something like that. I'm not too sure. I'll probably look at it, but it's an old trick back in the ancestors did. So I don't know.
That's a good idea. We'll have to look into that because I would
Yeah.
love to eat them. It's finally producing large enough pears to actually eat. It'd be nice if they'd soften up and so we could eat them.
The other way of eating them is put them in a if you got a crock pot,
Yep.
bake them down to the soft.
Oh, that's an idea.
Break them
We do a
down.
lot of crock pot cooking. I can't believe that we didn't think of that, honey.
Yeah,
Still
do
on
a
here.
crock pot. Put a little sugar, brown sugar, some cinnamon going on in there, and just let it cook down into a syrup-like thing to where you
Right.
want it, not to like a mush, like applesauce or pear sauce. You can do pear sauce too if you want to, or you can just get them nice and soft where you add a little sugar if you want to. You don't even have to use cane sugar. You can use alternative sugar, brown sugar, or raw sugar, or you can add honey. I mean, there's certain things that if you want to go natural, organic wise, like
That's
organic honey.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. We do buy local organic honey, and actually, I think speaking of that, That's a great idea. We're gonna have to try that. But I think we're gonna get into bees this year. We've been
Yeah,
putting
you
it
saw
off for yeah.
I lost like four of his beehives, and
Did
that was
he?
my concern too. Yeah, I don't know if you watch Castle Hive. He lost 98% of his hive. He only got one hive left.
Oh, that hurts.
So he said he had plans to rebuild, and so I mean it's a good thing. He just had to get away. That was my concern being in Connecticut, where that's what I was asking him, and he just proving my point a little bit. I'm sorry for his loss, but he gets
Right.
my point. What do you do winter? Like we had a lot of snow. Like he got that little freak snowstorm or winter, killed his
Yep.
hive. Now he done put a lot of money into that, a lot of time in that, and just a cold snap, he lost everything.
Yeah,
So
I've got some farmer friends that are fairly close to me here in Michigan that raise bees, and it's who I'd get my bees from. And that's a good question. I want to kind of see, because I kid you not, it was -17 here the other morning. I mean,
now my
it got
theory.
downright cold.
Now here go my theory. This is once again my theory. This
Sure.
is theory thinking. This is not scientifically proven. I would tell you when I say something, it's just something I think outside the box.
Yep.
Now, you ever go? You say you're in the cold climate. You ever seen those restaurants that have those propane heaters? They be on top of you when you sit outside, and it kicks heat down.
Yep.
You put a propane tank on it under it, and it kicks off heat. Right now, my theory is this: if you live in a cold climate and your beehives are not that far apart, like space across your property. Say you have 4 boxes, which is say it's 10 feet. Just say every 2 feet you got a box, like 4
Right.
boxes. Now, on your property, you store this outside propane heater. It's like $99 at Costco,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes a regular propane that gallon cylinder. Now you're gonna get cold weather here. Cut them on. Cut them on around the hive, so at least the temperature around the hive has some warmth. You don't want to heat them up all the time. When it gets, it's going to be bad weather.
Right.
Pop that out like they do in the restaurants. If you like, well, I'm in Connecticut and New York. They have where you sit outdoors. They have these outdoor heaters.
Yep.
That runs off of propane. So when you're gonna have one of those storms that like they have across America, have one of those. If you live in a cold climate, that's my thinking.
I think that's a great idea. Another thing I saw another channel do was they kind of had it like in a lean-to, so at least it kept the bulk of the snow off the hives and whatnot. And in that type of situation, a heater would work really well, right? Because it kind of hold the heat in there a little bit more than being out in the open.
Yeah, see, because that's what you want. You either that, you could do that too. Now that might be a new thing for somebody. Like I said, that's out of the box thinking.
Right, absolutely. That's my kind of thing.
Now what you do is you go to Home Depot, you get the 12-foot, 20-foot, the PVC pipe.
Yep.
And now you put some rebar, tap the rebar, and then cover your hives in plastic. So at least that plastic will act like a greenhouse, but it'll be where it's not below freezing.
Right.
So even if it keeps that area 40 degrees and direct wind off that hive,
keeps them alive.
Keeps them alive. Because they don't go into that below freezing.
Right.
So I mean,
I think that's a great idea too. Just a mini hoop house right over top of them.
Yeah, but it depends. Like I said, people's space stays out. They got a beehive over here, beehive over there. But if you have your beehives in a
most of the growers I know have most of their hives right together, or fairly close.
Yeah, so if you got them close, then you go get you a couple of hoops, some rebar, put them in the ground, hammer it, bend it, then throw some plastic over them. You don't have to cover it completely, but just put some plastic over it where it's not directly in the wind.
Right. I think that's a good idea. That's a good idea, and I'll talk to my farmer friends and see what they do. But regardless of what they do, I'm with you. You can always figure out another way to get it done for sure.
And I'm like, oh, but that's a waste of money. But then again, you're saying it's not a real waste of money if you get cold temperatures. Like now, like I said, God's showing everybody, waking them up. And I was telling that before this all happened.
Sure.
God waking you all up because see,
hell just froze over, man.
Yeah.
Hell just froze over for a day or two.
but hold up. But see, those are signs that God is saying. wake up, people. You got so complacent. Oh, we in Texas, it's so high. We in
Right.
Florida, we in Louisiana. You ain't never seen a snowstorm like that or ice storm come through. It devastates those people.
I
Now,
know.
I'm from the north. That is every winter. What y'all
Exactly.
going through? Welcome to my world. We dealing with that
I'm
right
with you.
now. See,
I'm with you. I know. It's they just got a little slice of what we deal with all the time for 6 months out of the year, you know?
yeah. So I'm saying like, welcome to my world. And I feel for them because they don't
That's
know.
it too. I feel bad for them because they're not prepared, right? I mean,
But see, hold up. But see, here it goes.
I know.
God's waking you up. God's knocking at the front door, like, wake up.
Well, and hopefully they see it, you know? That's the deal. Hopefully they learn a
Oh
little
no,
bit
they
something.
waking up. See, I'm hoping the governors and the politicians start saying, listen, I know we in the South, but we need to regulate our homes just like the North for
Right.
stuff like for the next 100 years. It might never happen for another 100 years, but you know what? Start insulating your homes.
It doesn't take that much more, right? We
Exactly.
insulate everything we build. So it's not that much more in the project.
Same thing. The same thing that me and my wife got Scott. I said, I don't know why people who's in the tornado zones and the hurricane zones, right? I understand the house was built 100 years ago, but if your house get knocked down by a tornado or hurricane, y'all building the town back, those houses should be out of concrete.
You would think.
They should, when you build a house in those areas that's devastated by tornadoes every year, if the house go down, you rebuild, you have to rebuild with a cellar. You have to rebuild with a hurricane bunker in that house. It's part of the building code.
Right. It should be.
We in the belt of tornadoes. We get them every year. Every year you hear about tornado came through here and took out a house.
Yep.
Why? Because you're building out of wood. It's like the little three pigs. Why build this stuff out and rebuild it out of wood again?
I agree. I know. It's a little bit crazy.
It's just like me and you right now. You see the house we both in right now?
Yep.
Start tearing the wall down and thinking that you said the house was built here in 1973. Break open one of those walls there and let the inspector come in. Like, oh, you got to change that. He'll tell you that, like, yeah, you're not grandfather. Once you break a wall open to renovate, now things got to go by code.
Yeah.
Now, this house was built in 73. That's what they should do in these areas.
Right.
If the house gets destroyed, when you rebuild and insurance companies rebuild, that house got to either be cinder block or new concrete.
Yeah.
So we don't have this issue no more. Even a concrete roof, the roof is not coming off because the concrete is coming in with a crane, and we're going to pitch the concrete to lock in.
They can build them. They build them every day. You know, they can be done. So no, I agree with you.
Have you ever been to the Caribbean? That's how they house. Some of them houses are built with concrete roofs like this. They're poured, and they got the same pitch, but it's concrete. So they anchor it in by rebars. So yeah, the windows might get blown out, but the house is still. You ain't got to worry about the house falling on top of you.
Right.
You
yeah,
know?
and that's real deal. That's a real deal. Yeah, the houses really aren't made to withstand what they should. That's for sure. Not with the weather we get.
But no, with the weather we're getting now, because you see it's more hurricanes, there are more tornadoes now. Within the last 5 years, there's been devastation.
Oh, for sure.
And they still rebuild them houses. I saw them other day, watching them. They rebuild it back with 2x4s.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
If I'm going to stay, because I'm a diehard Bronx person, listen, when you rebuild this house, we doing cinder block. We doing rebars. We doing anchors. You're not building my house by 2x4s will be inside to hold the sheetrock. Right. The perimeter is all concrete.
Yeah, it should be a little more of a fortress for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
They got new product out here now. They got what they call lightweight concrete now.
Yep.
You pump air in it, so it's lightweight, so you don't have to have that heaviness.
Right.
And have the strength of concrete. It's called I forgot the name of it. I just saw a guy build a whole house out of it.
Okay.
It's air and fibers in this concrete.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name either, but it's pretty slick. A lot lighter. The
technology is here. Why are you not using it?
Because they're not being forced to,
Blowing my mind. You're still gonna pay just like me and you, we still gonna pay our home insurance regardless if we use it or not.
Right.
So I don't see the way the insurance company say we're gonna lose money. You're not losing money because they're still gonna have to pay that and keep it. It's just like me and you. We never had an accident.
They would lose less money because they're not paying out as much. still need insurance,
They'll
so they're
make
still gonna be making money.
you'll make more money because you're not paying out nothing because the house is built, but the person still has to have it just in case. Like I said, I haven't had no accidents in at least 38 years. I've been paying
Right.
insurance for a car. Never
Knock
had,
on wood, me either. Knock on
never
wood.
had a claim. But I got a case in case I do, I'm paying full coverage.
Yep, absolutely.
So you're looking at about what, $6,000 full coverage on vehicles a year that I never had an accident.
Right. Right.
For 30 something, oh, it ain't 30, time's going up. But yeah, you think about it. 3-4 years, you're gonna pay $18,000 in car insurance.
Yeah.
And never
It's a
used.
little crazy.
So the insurance company can't say, "Oh, we're gonna lose money." How you losing money? Because people's gonna pay insurance. You're not paying out, so you're not losing money. You're gaining money. That's profit on top of profit.
Yeah, for sure. They would not be losing money in that instance at all.
So
So,
I don't
how
know.
many chickens you got there? I know you
Me,
probably said it in your past videos, but
I have 31 hens.
whew,
The reason I think I originally had 25, right? Then
okay.
like Sasquatch or the aliens came and stole one chicken. That was the old videos. Yes.
Either one's possible, man.
So because what happened was my chicken coop is if you watch my videos now,
Yep.
I got a lock on the outside, not a lock, but it's a slide lock. Boom, right? Then you go in, you got to go through. It's two barrel locks that you got to open up. So when I went out, because people think you got a lot of chickens, I think as a kid the Corona was here, the kids were out of school, they was having their little bonfire in their backyard,
Sure.
and I'm just thinking my dog didn't bark because he's so used to the kids, and she probably didn't pay no mind. The kid probably came over our deck. I'm just assuming that. I'm not saying I don't
Right.
know. I'm just saying it's just I got an old person behind me, other person here, and another old couple on the side of me, but it's a young
You're not
kid.
climbing fences and all?
Yeah. No, you can come over my deck because our deck, we don't live in that kind of community that we have to have this,
Sure.
Fort Knox. But the chicken coop was it was already locks on it, and I made it where, a raccoon couldn't get in and just jiggle something and open up. So, all right. Just because people think you got a lot of chickens, they think you're not missing one. So I went out. I'm like, somebody's missing. Yeah, because people think you have a lot. See, to them, that's a lot of chickens. But when
You know
you
every
have
single one of them.
every single one. I'm like, somebody's missed. So I thought maybe she died because I do deep bed. I'm saying
Sure.
maybe she died and the girl scratched and covered her, covered the dead chicken up. Man, I went in there, took all that I'm looking for. I'm like, I made videos on it. I'm like, I got to call Scooby-Doo and the mystery crew to come check out. So now
It's good
the
content.
the front door was locked. The two barrel doors that open to the the coop. Then there's a door inside, I'm like, all those are locked. Even the chicken coop was locked again, but the chicken's gone. Everything is locked with double locks. Somebody had to come get it. It wasn't no chicken. It wasn't no raccoon. I'm showing how my house inside is wired up.
Right.
So you don't see no feathers. You don't see no struggle.
Just gone.
It's just the chicken just gone, just disappeared. And the cops were like, who was still one chicken? I said, yeah, a kid. Dumb kid.
Right.
Dumb kid would do that. And then
Yeah.
on top of it, he came on the property because he's comfortable, because he knows the neighborhood. So he's not out of place because it was just a kid prank probably. So I went and brought 6 more chickens, baby chickens. And those were the leghorns. And I brought the leghorns and brought 4 rock bar rocks. I brought 4 rock bar and brought 2 Orpingtons because they only sell 6 at Tractor Supply. So that's how I end up with 31.
Yep.
And I don't know if you saw my videos when I was microphone where
Yeah, a few of them.
the young ones were in their face all the time. And I call one Karen. She always in the face of one of the big girls, and one of the big girls beat her up in the coop. And I brought her in, I cleaned up, they bust her head open, and she was bleeding, her comb was all messed up. And I brought her in with the wife, and I cleaned up with peroxide. And people was like, oh, don't put her back in. I was like, no, she got to go back out there and learn how to fight. So she going out there. I put her right back out there. No problem. One of the old girls put her in her place. That's all that was.
That's there's a pecking order. They just got to work through it.
Yeah, because
almost all animals do that.
Because I was telling the wife, I said, oh man, you have my camera out, because she always in the big girl's face. Like she'd be like a kid, always in their face. And they would try to avoid her, and she'll just run up in their face and just be. I'm like, your little butt. So we know it's chicken. We got a Orpington.
Yep.
call up, there's a few of them. We got different names, Midnight, Black, but Blackie, she always is in Blackie face. Blackie's one of the older girls, one of the dominant black astrolords.
Okay.
Right? And I'm assuming even my daughters were saying, because she was like, who did it? My daughter was like, yeah, it could have been Blackie because she always in Blackie's face. And Blackie would try to avoid her. And I think when they went in the coop, Blackie just lost it, beat her up.
Took her out.
Blood is all over. And I went and cleaned up, put her back out there, and she's fine. It was so funny. That video was so funny, man.
That's
but
great.
I tell people, if you spend time with your animals, you're gonna know all the personality between goats,
For
ducks.
sure.
Yeah, but a lot of people they don't treat their animals right.
Yeah, no, I grew up training horses, raising and training horses growing up, and then some cows and stuff like that. And then, so since we've had the farm here, I call it a farm. I built on the back side of my grandpa's family farm. Okay. And we lease 55 acres to a dairy farmer down the road, and he does crops. We farm our 2.5 acres, which, like I said, we got a 1/4 acre we're actually farming.
Yeah.
And then we've got two young beef cows and 2 goats. And that's and a couple dogs. But we have raised pigs in the past. We do meat birds in the spring usually. So we'll do probably another 50 meat birds this spring. And then we may get back into chickens this year because my neighbor was our egg supplier and they had 40 hens for the last couple of years and was, I'd sell some through our CSA and we'd get some eggs and, so we had a supplier, but they've stopped raising them for a bit and I'm not positive if they're gonna or not. So I think we may start a small, at least for ourselves, at least so we can have fresh eggs. So
yeah,
I hate
and that's the thing that I was working on, and it's a little hard, but I was thinking of it's certain things I watch that I buy property, cheap property, and there's a few things around. I'm like, wow, they're only 3 hours away from me, 2.5 hour drive away from me, and it's these farms that's going down. I mean, whatever but the acres, the barn, the houses,
right.
Yep. And I'm saying everybody was worrying about the food shortage. I'm like, won't your people, you might not know nothing about chicken, but what about co-op? Like what you're on the CSA?
Right.
Actually go in with somebody. If you don't have a garden, you live in an apartment. But if you get into a co-op or a GoFundMe type situation, let this person buy 10 acres or an old barn or old farm. You go look for the cheap stuff that's right around you where on the weekends somebody can go up or he can get a hand up there.
Right.
Now you have your own food supply. Instead of worrying about, we don't have this, we don't have that food supply. You might have to put up $100 a month, but you're getting 6 chickens a month or something like that or whatever.
Right.
2 chickens a week or whatever. You're getting vegetables because the people you're paying fresh. What they call that thing? That fresh thing they send you the box of food.
Well, that's what we do. We do a CSA, and it's a community supported agriculture, and we provide a box. It's a half bushel box filled with veggies, between 6 and 10 varieties every week, and we do that for 15 weeks throughout the season. And last year we fed about 20 different families every week doing that.
Okay.
And they prepay for it at the beginning of the season, so they prepay a set amount, right? And that set amount equals, like you said, it's. I think this year the set amount, if you're to spread it out over the 15 weeks. It's we do a single share, which is a half bushel box, and that's $250 for the whole season, right? For 15 weeks. So it's like $16-17 a week. They prepay that, and family shares is basically 2 of those boxes that we do for $450 for the season, which is less than double. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's quite a deal. It's about 28% off our regular market price. So we're giving our main customer base a great deal. They are guaranteed their vegetables for the whole season, and it keeps our farm operating. It's like you said, it's kind of like a co-op, it's community funded more or less. I do all the work and I grow them and everybody gets their fresh veggies and they know where it's coming from. It works great. Same with eggs and anything.
See, that's what we do here, but we do. It's a smaller scale than you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
They like my wife. She's a professor and she's a nurse, an ER nurse at the eggs go to the doctors and the nurses at the job.
Yep.
The business, the egg business is my 7-year-old girl, twin girls. That's their money.
Right on.
They have their own money, credit card. They have their own company called Egghead Eggs.
Perfect.
Egghead Eggs. So that's I mean, you won't see them in my video because the wife don't want the kids in the video.
Right.
So
Nope. I'm kind of.
they'll package the eggs and stuff like that. So they'll get their tips from the doctors and the nurses, and the people donate, things to them. And the vegetables that I grow, like I said, I started out with 4 beds, and it was usually potatoes and onions and corn.
Yep.
They'll throw that in because we only have family 4. But then when Mark came from Shed Wars, invited me over, I went from 4 beds to 15 raised beds.
That's a big jump there, man.
Yeah, it within a season, which I already jacked up my growing
You
thing.
can grow so much food on what you're doing too.
Oh, I did, but the part was the reason why people didn't see me much in Shed Wars because I didn't know what Shed Wars. Just like everybody, what's Shed Wars? What's Shed Wars?
Right. I didn't know nothing about it till this year.
Now I didn't know nothing about it until I got an email from Mark, Arkansas Woodcutter. He was like, "You want to be part of this Shed Wars? Because we just started, and you'll be one of the first founding people there." I'm like, I don't know. All I saw was people. When I first saw Shed Wars, it was people in medieval suits. I thought it was some type of kamikaze crazy people thing, and I'm like, what I'm getting myself into.
I asked myself the same question, man, at first. But I'm glad I'm here.
So what happened was, last year was my year of experimentation. So my theory when I first started, I was like, YouTubing wise, I'm like, just throw it down and let nature do its thing. Because
Yep.
I know as farmers and gardeners, we always talk about the 1-4 space it here, space it, but nature does not do that.
No.
Nature doesn't go, oh, I'm gonna drop a seed here, I'm gonna drop a seed. Wherever that seed lays down, that's where it's at.
Sure.
It doesn't go down 1/4 depth of what they talking about. The seeds just fall off the trees, or it falls off the collard greens or the okra.
Yep. Get washed in, covered up, and they're growing.
And they're growing. Now, man decided he's going to domesticate the flower and put it in the rows and square boxes and
504 green leaf. Glad to have you guys here.
Oh, somebody, hello, welcome. So that's why I said, so my theory was, let me see what the way nature would do it. Nature doesn't do the 18 inches apart, 1 foot apart. Nature,
right?
When the collard greens or the Brussels sprouts, go to seeds, what y'all call bolting, the seeds just fall to the ground. That's it.
Yeah, it really is that easy, and people don't understand. It is so easy to just start growing stuff, right? You can get caught up in all the details, and the way we farm, we've got to pay attention to some of that, but you don't have to. I mean, it's just putting seeds in the ground. I mean, we're going into our 3rd season, so much like what you just said, our first season for me, it was a complete experiment. I mean, 100%. Can I even grow this stuff? Right? Once I figured out I could. Then last year I went, okay, I can feed other people, and and we, and I did some farmers markets the first year and that sort of thing, and I've got a killer salad mix that I'm kind of known for in our area, so that's kind of my deal. But no, I'm with you. It's very, very can be very simple just to grow food, right? It's just rough up the ground and drop some seeds in, man. I mean, water it and see what happens.
Because besides me being Muddy Boots and microfarm at the time, I'm also a prepper. So when we get all the seeds, I buy nothing but seeds, bags of seeds, just to have. I'm like some people have I just buy seeds, and this year I'm gonna plant the square box method, square
foot gardening.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do, and I have buckets, and I have a lot of space around me, even in front of my property, which get a lot of sun. The front,
right?
And I'm telling the wife, you know what? I'm gonna just go out there with a hoe, and I'm gonna just dig a trench, and I'm just gonna plant peas. Now, one guy was telling me he learned how to, because I got a rock wall that the coyote jumps over every day. So I'm gonna make a little trench, and he's saying I can train the cucumbers to go over the rock ledge.
Yeah. I actually trellis all my cucumbers, man. All of my cucumbers.
But see, hold up. See, he was telling me you saying trellis is going up. He's telling me
they'll climb.
No, mine's not going to climb. He's saying he trained his to go downwards. I'm going to plant on the rock ledge, and then train them to go downwards.
They will do that because they just want to grow, right? Yeah. So like when I'm trellising up, I have to keep twirling them, or they'll they're just a vine, so they'll just fall over. So you can easily grow them down in however you want. You can direct, but yeah, absolutely, you can direct cucumbers to maximize your space for certain.
because I have a ledge wall which is about maybe 10 feet, 10
Yep.
feet by about 50 feet.
Yeah,
And
that'll work perfect.
sun actually hit there, but it's the front of the house. I know I might get yelled at the wife because now I'm making the house look like Poison Ivy house because there's gonna be a lot of green going around. She's like, we live in a Poison Ivy house.
Good
Like
green though, man. I think that's genius. I can't wait to see it.
so that was the issue. That was one, and then there was another one. I have a oak tree. I have 2 oak trees. I was
Okay.
gonna run a cable across it.
Yep.
Give me some center blocks on the bottom, and then do the string method, like you say. The cable go across the 2
Yep.
trees, then plant them in like a grow bag, and then use a string and let the cucumbers go up with the string. So I do a web
Yep.
for the growing season and let them do their thing right there between the 2 trees because sun actually hit there. So I mean, there's a lot of issues that I want to do, but I gotta say I'm dealing with a wife who likes her house, so she don't want it to look like poison ivy. So if you see my videos, everybody go, "Oh, you got too much grass." You'll see Arkansas woodcutter them.
Yeah.
You still have so much grass in your yard. I'm like, dude, my wife gave me the left
Help
side.
keep her happy.
She gave me the left side. As long as it look correct, it don't look like the junkyard jungle. She's
Yep.
cool. So that's what people are like, oh man, I don't know if you saw my last videos, like people like, your chicken's got a fireplace? Yeah, my chicken's got a fireplace in there. I don't know if you saw that video yet.
Yeah.
It's the chicken is and the nesting box that y'all see, if you see my videos, that came from a chicken farm. That's
Okay. Yep.
came from what's going on with this?
It looked like it.
Yeah, he had a bunch of them, but I don't need all of them. He had like 5. It was a farm that the grandkids inherited it, but they don't
Yep.
want all that stuff no more.
Yep.
The man put his heart and his soul into it. Grandpa passed away. Their father, whatever, got old, and the
Sad deal. I think it's like that. It's kind of like that here. Like I said, we built on the backside of my grandpa's farm. He's been gone for 30 years.
Yeah.
My uncle lives on the other side of the farm, and it could get split up. I don't ever want to see it happen, but it's possible. So
No, these individuals selling it. They was just getting rid of it, and they were just selling it for whatever.
selling off the stuff that they don't want to use.
No, they didn't want it because, once again, that's another thing too. People don't understand. Like, your grandfather built a business, right?
Right.
A lot of us don't realize that, and we go, it's a crime shame, but you got to realize the grandfather had a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
He built it where these kids made money, whatever he sold, he made enough money for them to go to college, to be doctors, lawyers, and go to California, live the lavish life. That was his dream. The farm was his dream, to get his kids where they are today, basically the grandkids, whatever. Gotta remember, they live in modern times. He fed, like you saying, he fed his family. You gotta remember, those grandkids don't want that. That's how a lot of family business go out of business. Like, yeah, Dad,
It is.
baking bread was your idea. I mean, but you didn't put me to college. Now I'm working for this Fortune 500 company, and I'm making 6 figures easily. You ain't trying to bake bread. So when
I know.
they sell.
I know, and I got a lot of friends and family just like that too. And I was in the business world for years. I was a mortgage lender, and I was a realtor. Was in that business for 15 years. I know that side of stuff. I like being in the dirt, man. So yeah. I'm all for getting as many people back to growing food.
Some of these farmers, what you're doing right now, I mean, before what you're doing, a lot of these farmers made millions. They made good money back in the days off their cows, the milk, the eggs, they whatever.
Sure.
But then again, you got to remember those kids that they sent to college.
Yep, they don't want nothing to do with it. They're happy with what they're doing. They're chasing their own dreams.
Yeah, they chase their own dream, or they live in a great dream because the grandfather's money got them to live that lavish life. But now when he passed away, they got like, we don't need the farm. Nobody's going back to the live. Nobody's going back to the plow that. Now here come a developer saying, hey, I'll give you $1.6 million for it because he's going to put a bunch of houses where your grandfather's farm used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Or build an Amazon, or build like they did here, build an Amazon distributor, a distributor up here. And what's so bad about it was the people didn't want it, but the people that ran the town is like, that's money in the bank. So they bought it, but you can't go against Basil. Basil go here, listen, we're gonna give you a town that's gonna bring your town $30 million a year if we have a distributor, Amazon distributor, and they fought it. They want that to go somewhere else, but the town was like, this is money.
Yep.
It brings money into the town next to me. It's like they fought. people was hooping and hollering. You thought Christians didn't curse.
Oh,
It took a whole
very salted people.
yeah, they was mad. The skunk was on the news. They were peed off, man. It still got built. Still got built.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough situation. You know, everybody's thoughts on it are all a little bit different. I hate seeing family farms go myself.
Yeah.
You know, but that being said, we don't necessarily need 100, 200 acre farms either. You know, I'd like to see a lot more people like myself and like you giving back to the community and feeding people. You know, I'd rather see 50 of me in the community, right,
Yep.
than one great big farm.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where my push is at these days. You know, as much as I hate to see those big farms get split up or sold or whatnot, I think there's a lot of room for people like us to feed the community and, you know, teach people to grow.
And let me see. Okay. That's another thing I want to tell you, like even with your screening yard. Now, this is maybe you don't talk to a lot of people. I'm not figuring out. Now, rule to the game is to get you subscribers going on. And a lot of people make this mistake, and I probably put a video out, and they might tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know what I'm talking about, but that's okay, right? Live streams, what you're doing right now, is not here to talk about stuff that was already on your videos. A lot of people make that mistake, and it becomes
sure.
Like I just watched your video. You was talking about, you know, whatever you was doing. Then
Sure.
you a live stream, and I said that I don't know if you saw me. And I was saying, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch your 6-minute video.
Sure.
Whatever you do. I don't want to come on your live for an hour because you're trying to get your what you want to call your video your watch hours up, right?
Sure.
I don't want to hear you talk about gardening again. I mean, a little bit here and there. And that's when you know is if you watch Shed Wars, they joking around, playing with each other, making jokes and stuff. It's entertaining. Now this is YouTube. This live thing is basically a garden's nightclub. That's basically what it is.
It can be. It can be. You know, I follow a lot of different channels, you know, and I agree with what you're saying to a point. However, I also watch a lot of lives where that live has an intentional purpose.
Oh, yeah.
To teach something or maybe go a little deeper in depth, you know, because there's a lot of people that would like to sit down and learn something for 30 minutes that maybe you only covered 5 minutes of. Right. So I agree with what you're saying. I do wholeheartedly. And I think everybody, this is the cool thing about YouTube. Everybody can do their channel the way they do their channel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I agree with you to a point. I will say that because I do watch a lot of the Shed Wars live streams, right? I do. Yeah. I watch a lot of them. You know, you see me on there, and I hang out for a long time on a lot of them, and try to give input. But here's my thing. If I'm going to spend time on YouTube, regardless of whether I get 0 subscribers, I want to add value.
There you go.
Right? I want to add value. Period. But that's just me. You know, I don't mind talking about my day or your day because I'm very interested in what you're doing. You know, obviously that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
But I do see some of the streams going in a weird direction. You know, I'm like, all right, well, I spent, you know,
X amount of time, I didn't get nothing from it.
X amount of time here, and I really got other stuff, you know, that needs to get done.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to. I was just talking to my brother-in-law. He's a basketball player. I got a brother-in-law. He's a basketball player, and you know, it's what it is. And I was telling him, I said, you got to look at lives. And I understand it's entertaining. You got to make yourself what's different in your channel.
Right.
You know, because like I said,
that's just it, you know.
In our community, you'll see the jokers and you'll see the real, like Chicken Johnny. He'll talk about that. Jules Small Garden, he'll talk about growing stuff. You have people in the community. Those are the people you're going to go and learn something from. Because Chicken Johnny doesn't joke around a lot. He joke a little bit here and there, but he's really giving you great information. That's what I say. Anybody, just don't look at the lives. Take from it. Like, matter of fact, I'm going to give you a prime example. The lives that you leave. Why did you leave? Ask yourself that. Why did I leave that live? Why I didn't stay the whole live? Then you start saying, I can make a better live because the person was born.
Hey, Lori's World.
Oh, Lori's World here. Hey, Lori.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, Lori. Hey, Lori, bring some people over here. I know you got some connections. This is his first live. Show
I
some
don't know
love.
how much longer I'm going to be on. I'll be on as long as you guys keep jumping in.
No,
But
Lori,
I
Lori
appreciate you
got
coming
connection.
over for sure.
Yeah,
I
Lori,
really, you know,
Lori, well,
like
just
you said,
tell him that he's on, and you want them to come over and show support. This is his first live. I just popped up and I saw him. And he asked me to come up.
he's
And
been
he's
keeping
learning.
me company.
No, but see, this is like Lori. Now she might hit up some people, and the people, you know, that's what it is, and that's how you get people to come over. You know, knowing you're doing lives now. Like my first live, I don't know if you saw my first live that I ever
I
done.
didn't see your first one.
Oh man, my first live, 1,700 people watched me, bro.
Yes.
On my first live, bro. And that's like I was telling the person, like, I had the fame, but not the subscribers for some reason. It was like, you know, you're a famous rock star, but you don't have the money.
Right.
That's how I felt. I felt like I got all these people watching me. I'm like, what's so hard hitting that subscribe button? I got 1,700 people watching. I only got 800 subscribers.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
What's so hard to hit that little subscribe button? Like, boop.
Yeah. And you know, I'm a little torn on the whole thing as far as all that goes, because obviously, I started.
Thank you, Lion Crest. I mean, I'm saying thank you.
Hey, Lion Crest. Sorry, I didn't even see that there. I got to chatting.
Yeah, Lion Crest, go over to your Facebook channel. I know you got people. Is this first live? This is Simply Ain't Easy first live.
Hey, Lion Crest, I'm going to drop the link in the chat if you want to jump up and chat with us.
Yeah, come on up, brother. I ain't see you in a minute. See you talk about that old sweet potato plant of yours.
No, I appreciate you guys jumping up here with me for sure. I just think it's a great opportunity to get to know y'all for sure. Yeah. For sure. I know I don't jump in too much on your lives, but I sure do enjoy watching y'all. It's good to sit and chat. No doubt.
And I was saying, for instance, like, see, you know, I tell people to pay that little $25 to get unlimited. You can put up 10 people. I mean, it's $25 a month. You don't have to keep it all a month. You know, just do it, you know, so you don't have to worry about spending that 14 hours, because you could blow 14 hours easily, especially if you get nice people coming in. Like right now, we've been speaking for about 1 hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah, goes quick.
Goes quick.
It goes quick. And to be honest with you, I mean, like I said, I will stay on as long as you guys want to hang out. But it's really, for me, it's not about the hours yet. I mean, I'm not anywhere close to my 1,000 subs, which could get there quick. But I'm about slow growth. You know, I want the people to subscribe to my channel that want to be there, not because I begged them to on a live, or, you know, because somebody else told them to. Granted, I love the shout outs and appreciate it, and appreciate everybody that subs. Yeah. But that being said, I'm about the people, man. You know, so I'll get to 1,000, I'll get to 10,000. I guarantee it.
I'm the cuckoo.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you don't realize they called me the cuckoo bird? I walked away from almost 1,000.
I know you did. I know. Which I thought was, you know, kudos to you, man.
Like, you worked almost a year to get there, and just say in a flash, I walk away from it and start all over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if a guy like, man, I would have never done that, man.
I think you'll be better off in the long run. I mean, even as far as the channel growth goes.
Yeah,
you know, you got to attract your tribe, man. That's, you know, that's like I was just saying. You know, I'm here to give value if possible. Mm-hmm. More so than just be on here to add hours. I guess that's my point. You know, this first one it's kind of a test run for me. But going forward, I can tell you that I will obviously want to have people up, but I will have somewhat of a schedule I'll be following, you know, for points that I want to be brought across. You know, different questions that are asked to me, maybe even via my Facebook group, or, you know, our page over there. I can answer some questions. You know, I definitely want to give value. I don't want to just be just a chatter.
Do you know how to click on Lori's World? Like, bring it up on your screen. Like, if you click, it'll show, like, you can highlight her and bring. There you go. You just did it.
There we go.
You just did it. See,
absolutely.
Like that. So
I agree, and that's exactly the point I was saying right there. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
I couldn't agree more, for sure. I appreciate your guys' support. Obviously, you know what I mean. I appreciate you being here. But it's about getting to know you guys. You know, what are you growing? It's not about how many subs am I going to get tonight, and that's just me. You know.
Yeah, I said the same thing when I first started, and that's why I shut it down. I was like, it just went too far that I didn't want. You know. and it was like it got too fuzzy. You don't know who's who. You get creepers coming in on your set, you don't know, and that's why I shut it down. And that's a rule to my game. If it gets too fuzzy, you can't see no more. You don't know what's going on. Start all over.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm going to be honest with y'all too. I mean, I started YouTube as a side business for my farm.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say that. I do plan on this bringing an income to the farm, but it isn't about that. That's just part of the long-term plan. Because I understand the economy of YouTube. I've been studying it for a long time, and even though I'm fairly new and don't have a lot of subscribers, I think I started my channel about a year ago.
Yeah.
Did a couple videos and then got so darn busy with the season that kind of just dropped right off until the fall.
Yeah.
But I do have a very good understanding of how it all works. But I'd rather have 1,000 super fans, 1,000 friends around me all the time than 50,000, and because it's better in the long run.
I'd rather have 100 people learning from me than 100,000.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
That's the reason why when people ask me, and I try not to go into details, once you become like for me, I guess I don't like to say anything too much, but I just want to say it now since anybody just feel it. You don't want to become popular, because what happens is people tag onto you. And when they cannot use you no more for their popularity contest to get where they gotta go, you become the bad guy. And that's what happened to me. Is certain individuals, oh, microphone, come up here with me, microphone. And you probably heard all that. Oh, microphone. And it was like, do you really like my content, or you just want because I'm popular and then because I'm on your stuff, people's gonna come over.
Right.
And your ill means. And I was like, God's like, dude, shut it down, because you don't know who's truly there for your content or truly there for you. So now I'd rather have this less than 100 and be able to talk to each one person personally.
Yeah. No, I agree wholeheartedly.
10,000 or 1,500 that I can't even see no more.
Yep.
I'm not so, like God told me, he said, whoever subscribes to the true people are going to follow you.
Yeah.
The people that ain't about you, they're not coming. So you say, okay, you have 900 subscribers, right? Since I left, I got up to 100.
Hello, my friend.
Hey, yeah, he's all like put his earplugs in.
Yeah.
And that's where you see true numbers. I'm a number guy. True numbers. Like, I don't like to see people who have 10,000 subscribers every time you look at their live, ain't but 34 people in their live.
Right.
My headphones are dead.
Hey, Farmer Q. Appreciate you joining us.
So he's, Farmer Q, he's coming up on the ranks,
I've been watching him. I've been following.
Yeah, and I'm hoping he learned from my mistakes. People will latch onto you when you become the new hot thing. People will latch.
I think he's doing things right.
No, he's doing things good. As I said, I love people. Hey, Elizabeth Adventure.
Hey, Elizabeth, thanks for coming.
So I didn't go on a rant and a rave. I just shut down. I mean, matter of fact, he knew me when Michael Farmer, and just one morning, everybody like, where Michael Farmer went? He's just gone. And it was like, oh, they God disappeared. Like, where is he at? They panicked almost.
How's the weather in Vancouver? Hey, Farmer Q, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, glad to be here. How y'all doing?
We're doing great.
Somebody's missing that sweet potato
plant. Sweet potato plant?
It ain't behind you no more.
She's in her tent.
Oh, you put it in a tent? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's taking over. She's at the corner of one of the tents, and she's like encroaching all the other spaces. And
you put it on timeout. You put it in the corner like a teacher. Put a kid on timeout.
She ain't hearing it. She ain't hearing it, because let me tell you, I'm gonna have to take some cuts because she is raging against the machine right now, and I'm the machine. So.
So, Farmer Q, will you then take that outside once, or is it just going to stay in a pot the whole time?
That plant would have never existed. I have a sweet potato mama, quote unquote, but I cut it all the way back to the stem because the sweet potato, the one that y'all see on the other video, is like so big now. I was like, I'm just gonna cut mama back because I underwatered her a little bit and her leaves kind of got all crazy, and I was like, okay. I just cut her all the way back, and then I got her watering right, and she's busting out new growth already. So, but the queen though, like you asked that, I'm gonna I'm gonna take a bunch of cuttings off of her until I get ready to go outside. But she's not going outside till like late April,
Right.
because those plants are tropical. So,
well, that's what you were saying when I was asking about if they grow in Michigan, and the answer was unequivocally probably not.
yeah, they can. I'd say put them out in like mid June, and you have until about August 31st. No, probably about September 5th to 10th. I'd say probably 5th to 10th September. But if you could hit that window and you can really get some good growth, get that soil nice and fertile, man, you'd be good to go. You'd have a harvest.
Yeah, we want to do sweet potatoes this year. But yeah, I was pretty intrigued by yours. It looked pretty darn good.
But yeah, if you want, man, I'm gonna get like some packaging stuff, because I've been watching a few videos of how people send cuttings and stuff. But I'm gonna start sending people cuttings out. I want to do like a trial where I send free cuttings at first, and then I'm gonna send them for like, I'm gonna try to make like $7 off of them outside of the shipping. So
I think that's a great idea. I'd love to try growing some.
Well,
I love your entrepreneurs.
You said what?
I love your entrepreneurs.
We're all about it. You know what I mean? Gotta make a living, man.
Hey, got to, right?
CSA, he doing CSA, you doing clippings, I'm selling eggs. I mean,
yeah. Here in a couple months, we'll be doing plant starts. We sell plant starts.
See, I don't sell. And what's funny is you guys say that. I'm about to take over my neighbor's yard.
Right on. Me too.
She do not like the weather, but she made a big raised bed last year. What she made the mistake was, here the mistake was, I told her what the mistake was. She went on somebody else's program. She built a 12-inch by 16 feet bed.
Okay.
Didn't put an account. You know how much money you're gonna do to fill that up?
Right.
She went.
So you said 12 feet by 16 inch. How deep was it? 10 inch deep?
12 inches.
12 inches? Oh my goodness!
By
12 by 6. Is that like 5? Is that 4 by 8 beds? Or no,
that's one bed. That's one.
No. That's what I'm saying. If you were to take the rectangles of a 4 by 8 bed and put 4 of those inside of that area, would it equal that, or is that? No,
Yeah,
that would be 3. That'd be 3 because you're talking about 1, 2 by 6.
3 feet is 3 feet wide. 3
So it'd
feet.
be 6.
12 by 16 feet. It's on the backside of my fence by the chicken coop on the outside. It's in her yard.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
And then she got gardens. She got beds going across the backside of her because she get direct sun. But the person didn't put an account. She didn't put an account that soil is about $7 a bag. So what I did, I showed her the trick. Now she cut a lot of her trees down, so I have a lot of trees. So when I broke my trees down, I grind up the leaves. And she had some leaves that fall. I said, put the leaves at the bottom of those things and let the snow, the rain pat down. Now you'll get worms. Do like I throw sugar on mine. Sugar, the worms to come up for the sugar and the starch or whatever, and the grass. When a sun,
we mess around, put some sugar out here in Texas, we're gonna have ants.
I was gonna say, use coffee grounds to bring the worms up.
You can do that too. I mean, yeah, you can go to Starbucks, but the part was
I just drink a lot of coffee, man.
Give us an excuse, right?
Yeah. So what is now? She got grass clippings. She don't have a lot of trees like I do. So I said, pack that up. So because what happened is it's going to be fluffy, but after a snowstorm and rainstorm is you think is a lot. By the time the season comes, it's probably only going to be about good 6 inches or 5 inches when it compact from the snow. Stuff's going to compact. Then you got the grass when the sun cut the grass. Put the grass on top of that. Then you can get you some cheap dirt. You can have a guy bring you about three yards of dirt, topsoil, and then you can rock there. Now, I don't think she's going to do it. So here it goes. I'll do it, and let me take your space. And I grow, because I got enough seeds to grow for her and me in her yard. So now that's how I get it. Now, like he said, she gets to eat too.
Right.
Now, I'm doing
the same thing with a couple neighbors this year to expand mine out.
I doubled my growing space to now from 3.0. I can get between me and her. She has the beds already. But
I might propose that to my neighbor. I didn't really think about that. One of my neighbors don't have dogs, but I was thinking about the neighbor that has dogs, and it just made my idea go away from it. But y'all bring up a really good point. That's a really good point.
The thing is, how you get your neighbor in it. On their side, you grow stuff they eat that you eat too.
That's right.
Okay.
They don't like eggplants. Don't put eggplants in their yard.
That makes sense.
They eat onions, sweet potatoes, Swiss chard, or collard greens. That's what you put in their yard because then that's a sale pitch for them.
Let me step away for 1 second. I gotta go grab the charger for these earphones
Okay.
and I can plug them in.
All right. So I know she's not going to spend the money,
Right.
because she's not an avid gardener. She has other things she's busy with. But hey, I will take care of that. I have enough seeds. I have pots. I got a little greenhouse out. You saw my little greenhouse in my other videos. I have over 100 and something plants. Now, my yard can't take all that.
Right.
I'll put it in her yard.
Yeah.
I know she likes to do, she does movies. She likes kale. She likes spinach. She likes broccoli. Those are the things I'm gonna put in her yard because she has no trees. She cut all her trees off, so sun comes boom right in there.
Mhm.
Now I'm like, I double my growing space, and all I gotta do is, hey, listen, topsoil, so I need some organic soil to come in. Bring me 4 yards of it. 4 yards is probably $150. I don't have enough soil to fill it up, but I have a guy with the little dump bed truck drop me 4 yards. I mean, I'll just shovel it in there and I'll put my plants in there. And now I got her yard and my yard to grow this year. And she get to eat the bell peppers in there, the tomatoes, whatever she likes. I'll put it on her side and the stuff like I do eggplant and all that. And now I double my space from a neighbor in the urban city. Not an urban
Yeah,
city.
no, I think that's absolutely perfect. You know, the way I started, the way I learned to farm, the way I farmed was actually from Curtis Stone, the urban farmer. Okay, and he did that exact same thing at Green City Acres. He farmed in his backyard, and then he went around all over the neighborhood, right, and set up these plots. You know, these 30-inch wide by 50 foot or 25 foot or whatever the plot would allow, and he'd grow for his CSA or for restaurants or neighbors, whatever the case might be. But no, that's utilize your neighbor's space if they're good with it, and feed them.
Because I got a surprise. I got something in my head. My local nursery, it's a family-owned nursery, right?
Yep. And
they have enough space. Well, as I drove past the facility, I believe they own a nice another almost a quarter-acre property on the outside they don't use at all.
Oh man!
So I'm like, you know what? Since y'all know I'm a YouTuber, is it possible I can rent that from you guys?
I would say it's possible
because they don't use it. They got to block people from going in with a car. They put what's called wood pallets. They got a wood pallets about 6 feet high, covering the whole drive. You can't drive in it. So I'm assuming they own it, but they don't use it. They don't use it. And I'm like, okay, it might be there. I'm just gonna ask them one day when I go over there to get some stuff. It's like, who do y'all own that? Would y'all mind renting that out for a season? Right. And let me see how it is. And they'll probably, since they're a local nursery, they probably have stuff they throw away anyway.
I'm sure.
We're over here.
I'm sure. I think that's a great idea.
So
I'd like to see where that goes. That's a tremendous idea.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask when I go over there probably this week coming up. And the next thing was there's another I just watched a video. A guy there's a program going out with supermarket. Well, certain towns, like our supermarket, they already have they got so big, like Stop and Shop, what we call here the supermarket. The big farmers got contracts. Well, they had contracts where the vegetables they can't sell, the food they can't sell, goes straight to the farm for their pigs and stuff. But if you live in a small town, whatever, those small supermarkets, whatever, probably would actually give you the vegetables that cannot use, so that you can get free food for your animals, your livestock.
Right.
Like where I went, they was like, nope, that's already, they already have a contract with the local farmers, the bigger ones.
Yeah.
Or they meat that they can't sell, the vegetables they can't sell that looks bad. Because one guy he was showing in his video, I forgot the guy's name, he's just a subscriber. He was showing, good stuff, but they just could not sell it legally.
Wow.
But the contract they have
because of liability.
Yeah.
It's a liability because it's expired, but it was still good. Like he had got milk, feed that to his pigs, and his, had milk. That he said it wasn't expired. It was just that they couldn't sell it at that certain date, so the price was still good. So they go pick it up by the truckload,
right?
And he brings it to the farm and he feeds his animals and livestock. Now, like the only thing he said, the contract with them is they cannot use it for their own consumptions.
Right.
Not saying that they're gonna be there to watch him eat one of those apples, but but he can't use it for consumption. So I was like, wow, he had a lot of food that goes out to. So that saves him. It's just he got to pay gas money. So all the food that his animals eat on his property came out the supermarket. They throw away.
Wow,
That's crazy.
I wonder how much that contract was drafted up for, though.
No, he gets it for free.
So he gets it for free.
Now,
So but it's contracted that he gets it for free, though.
Yeah, but he can't. Yeah, he gets it for free to grow food.
Yeah.
Instead of throwing it to a landfill.
So what kind of incentive was given for them to get that food for their animals?
The incentive, they don't have to pay for dumpage.
Right.
To
get rid of it.
They had to get
So
rid of
it. That's just free money for that farm then.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're friends with, you know what I'm saying? I wonder the personal connection, because it's like that's a really big advantage to give to somebody. I'm not going to sit here and say I want to know the name of the person, but I'm saying that in particular is a huge. If you had a friend and they fell into that situation, like Joe over here, he might be the owner of a farm, but he's y'all's childhood friend. So you're like, hey, we got this little thing here. Just start raising animals, and you got free money coming out of the animals on the other end of it.
Right. It's funny you say that, Farmer Q. It's funny you say that because actually, like I was saying, we lease the rest of the farm to a dairy farmer down the road. Well, I was just down there a few weeks ago, and it looks like it is going to be a year, probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years down the road because of the time it takes. But I'm going into business with him to start making actual compost with his manure. So
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be well. There's like around here, there is no good source where I live. I run a market garden, and I could use 30 yards of compost a year if I could get it at a reasonable price, right?
So do you know what he feeds his cows? Like, what kind of dairy is it? Like,
yeah, he raises all the alfalfa and corn for him. So it's the same farmer we've been leasing to for 30 years. Since my grandpa passed away.
And let me ask you this, because I'm responsible and I understand things. Does he only use antibiotics when he needs to?
I believe yes. Yes.
Okay.
If at all.
Okay. And that's the thing, and honestly, that's a really big topic of discussion, of debate amongst people.
I know it is too.
Okay. I got a question. I got to play devil advocate.
Yep.
Ready for it?
Yep.
Now, Q, you talk about antibiotics, right? Right? Now, when you're doing composting, right? How long you think the antibiotic is going to be in that compost? Like, I understand what people saying, oh, he used antibiotics in his animals or whatever.
The reality is,
how long do antibiotics last outside the body?
I don't know. Farmer Q may know this. I mean, I would think at the temperatures that it has to get to break down so that you can even use manure on your food, that them antibiotics may not even be an issue. But again, I'm not a scientist, and like I've told you, Farmer Q wasn't in here earlier. But I'm pretty doggone all natural on my farm.
Yeah.
So
and
I'm
not trying to take away from anything at all.
No, I'm with you for sure, 100% on this. And these are questions that before we got into real details,
I told you I was playing devil advocate. I want to ask that question.
Well,
I think because I was telling him certain people will say certain things and get people upset, and I'm thinking, I'm not a scientist. It's just thinking outside the box. How long do the antibiotics, even though he does use, things, how long does it stay outside the body? Do you know that, Q? I'm not putting you on a line. I just want to know.
Well, no, I don't know the exact half-life, but here's the thing. That's what you're looking at. You're looking at a half-life period of the particular antibiotic. And there's different types of antibiotics too. And that's a huge discussion that people aren't willing to have, but they want to make a bold claim. So that's why I'm not making bold claims. I'm exploring it. I'm just trying to wonder if this is having an effect over what we're using, because I know I'm going to tell you right now that black cow compost, that stuff is going to have something in it as far as the antibiotics go, because there's no way that they're producing that much that much manure with that big of a dairy on a commercial level and selling it at a commercial rate without having some kind of balance or equalizer for bacteria or foreign things that might come into things like pathogens and things like that. So,
well, that's why you cook it down. That's why they got to reach a certain temperature when you're composting. And I agree with you. And I have no idea the size of farm that black cow is. I know that the dairy farmer down the road, he's a local guy. I think he's got 100 maybe 150 head of cows, so we're only going to produce the amount of compost that they're shitting out the other end.
Now, as what you were saying, Farmer Q, like I said, I forget these people's names. I'm not good keeping names. I know I've seen a farmer do exactly what you talk about. He made he was a welder. He had a tube. He put his compost, whatever he had matter, he had logs. He actually had a heater and he had the thing turning. And he was heating up his soil, what they call sterilization.
Mm-hmm.
He was heating his own compost pile up with heat.
So
your compost pile will heat up though, Microfarm or Muddy Boots. Your compost pile will heat up if you're turning it on a regular basis, and you've got a mixture of carbons and greens in there. It will heat up,
Yeah,
but you got to turn it.
He had it where he didn't even wait. He actually cooked it. He didn't with the old method. He didn't have no propane tank. He had actually logs.
No kidding.
It was a homemade contraption where he had a cheap engine running the chain, and it was turning the compost in the barrel. It was cooking. Right. And then he hits a lever. He made this on his own. He's a welder. That's
awesome.
He made it well, and when he got to a certain temperature, whatever, he cooked out the eggs, the lava, whatever those things that's in it, or pathogens. He cooked it, and then he opened it up, and then it had one of those things that it just kicked out and piled up, but it was portable. And
he's cooking it like in a matter of days, probably rather than a year.
Yeah.
Well, what I will say though, that
it was homemade.
What I'll tell you though about that particular mixture is he applied heat to it he didn't apply heat to it. It basically reached super high temperatures through the thermal process of him actually having like the log or contraption or whatever it is. But I will say this. He killed whatever pathogenic stuff, seeds, whatever, like he got rid of all that. He got rid of the larva, all that stuff. But he didn't age the compost.
Right.
Like
that's my question.
There's still a process to the composting of the, and that's why he probably has the mounds. That's why he lets it pile, because he probably just lets it sit there cold now at that point, because now it has to go through a little bit of more of a plant availability process, if you will.
Okay.
Yep.
But like, I think that his process is epic though, because it's like, it's killing the guesswork out of having weed seeds, like out of having like different like nematodes that you could have in there, like all kinds of weird stuff like that. You could start from an aerobic point as opposed to like an anaerobic dominance, if you will.
And I would almost think that he's, even if he lets it sit for a while, right, like you need to, still probably cuts that process in half at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That
heat that it generates in that initial process is gonna the cells within that, like the lignin cells, like the plants, like the green cells, all those cells are going to be impacted from the thermal energy, because that's just how thermal energy works. It kind of speeds up the process of things.
Yeah. So I tell people, I'm not an expert, but I've been watching people for years, and I'm like, don't know the whole science behind it, but I have seen it done. Now he might add something to it, but initially he might go back and throw other nutrients in it.
He's probably throwing.
I know that.
Minerals and stuff like that, like getting it prepped for just actual general use and things like that. But that's the cool thing. So that's the cool thing about the internet. I tell people a whole lot of the time, I'm like, check this out. Whenever you're watching the internet, appreciate what you're watching, but always look deeper, because it's going to show you one step of many steps. Yeah. So then you're going to don't build a complete opinion around what you see. Just kind of add that to your memory bank. That's what I try to do.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's why.
Hey, are you guys familiar? Farmer Q, have you seen the Johnson Sioux bioreactor?
Yes, I have. I'm gonna build one once we get some land. But
me too.
I just can't actually. Yeah.
Check this out. Do you follow Diego Footer at all?
I do. I don't.
Okay, so he just put out a video. He just put out a video as an alternative to the to the Johnson Sioux bioreactor, which I'm going to build this year, and it is, in your words, epic. it's literally just two tubes, right? Instead of doing the Johnson Sioux's 4-foot tube with 4-foot cage,
with the
about 5 foot tall, with the PVCs in the middle of it, you know, and then you pull them out and it creates air pockets, blah blah blah. Well, Diego's design is literally just a 2-foot wire mesh for your airflow in the center.
Okay,
and then you build a 6-foot diameter outside. So you've got 2 foot all the way around where you can put your compost in. You see what I'm saying? So you never have to pull those tubes. You don't have to do anything. And he's putting it flat on the ground rather than on a pallet.
Can
So
you
the
say
worms and everything can get up in there, which totally makes sense.
can you say the dimensions again? I'm kind of not like I'm kind
The
of
dimensions, it was the inner one, the inner circle is 2 foot diameter, and the outer one is 6 foot diameter.
okay.
Okay, so you've got 2 foot all the
So
way
it's like
around that.
okay, I'm imagining. I'm imagining. Yeah, I got it. So it's like imagine just like a singular point with a 2 foot circle around that singular point, then a 6 foot circle around that singular point.
Exactly, big wire cage, right?
Yeah,
big wire cage.
an
So,
electron.
yeah, sweet though. He got rid of the black fabric and just using chicken wire on the inside of the bigger wire to hold it in. And yeah, look, it worked slick from his video. I'm gonna build a
So
couple.
was
of them.
what was the turnaround time about the same, but you just had a smaller area, or was it just?
Yeah, the turnaround time was about the same, except for with his design, you've actually got more area. You're producing more compost, and he also went up a little bit higher. I think maybe 5 or 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
But because you've got an actual full 2 foot all the way around, the whole thing full of compost, or full material, you end up with more than the Johnson suit.
So what is the I have a question about that because I don't think that I actually remember this part if I did watch this part, but what was the actual percentage left over of that? Because it was lignin wood chip based, what is the actual percentage of the compost that was left over?
I don't remember the percentage, but I want to say he ended up with like 2.5 yards maybe per unit.
That's good.
That's good, man. That's what I'm saying. So I'll build a couple of those, and have them at probably different spots on my plot, so I don't have to walk so far.
Like rock dust up in that thing or something, like just kind of ratio it out just right with like a mineral mix or something. If it was cheap and available, like that's the thing. A lot of these things like that are really.
That's how I do all my compost pile. I just try to ration it out. I'll add some brown at the bottom and add some greens and add some brown and add some greens. Water it. And
so. And I have to say this too, that I am very much I'm passionate about this as a hobby and as a lifestyle. So I get kind of
me too, man.
Wild with my purchasing sometimes. So I try to tell people if it's cheap and available to you.
Exactly.
Because I've done the cheap and available part and I've lived that and I've actually
I'm bootstrapping everything.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch my farm channel, I mean, and I'll explain more of that. I'm going into year 3 and I bootstrapped everything, man. No loans, no nothing. I started all hand tools, still using mostly hand tools. Last year I actually paid somebody a couple $100 to come in with a tiller on the back of a tractor,
that's awesome.
to till up another block for me. But I'm all about saving money and doing things as inexpensively as possible, even if I don't have to, because like you said, not everybody has the options that everybody else, that other people might have. And my big push is really just to get other people growing food, and feeding as many as I personally can.
Oh yeah, for sure. And my thing is, I think it's real easy to get caught up in the marketing of it all. But if you're really trying to, if you're really trying to teach the base of it and the foundation of it, you're really gonna have people find their own way essentially. And you can be cheap or you can be moderately expensive, whatever's available. Because if you're living in the middle of New York, you're gonna have to order everything that you do. Mm-hmm. Because you might be growing hydroponically indoors or something like that. Like that might just be your only option. So it's really important to not chastise either side of it. You know what I mean? Like I
agree wholeheartedly. I mean, because everybody's situation is different, right? And even our own personal situations are different. My situation on my farm going into year 3 is way different than going into year 1, right? I already have a customer base now. I have, I already have my CSA shares will be pre-sold overnight, so it's just a different situation. So say the first 2 seasons, I'm known for my Salanova lettuce mix. Okay. So I do a salad mix and I've got I wash it, a bubbler and a spinner, and I do all this stuff, and I bag up these bags of salad mix.
Yeah.
And, for the first 2 years, man, I hand plant 400 heads in every 50-foot bed, right? And I'm growing that stuff in succession all season, which means I'm planting out a 50-foot bed every couple weeks at minimum, at least one. And this year, I'm creating a salad club, so I'm doing a
So
lot
when
more
you're
of that.
harvesting, are you using the greens harvester, or are you using?
No, no, for my Salanova lettuce, I use a knife. I bend over
Okay,
and I cut every single one of
so you
those.
just got like a super sharp knife, and you're just
Yeah, yeah. But point being, and I like that greens harvester. I don't have it yet. I think I'm going to try to invest in that this year too, so I can grow more greens. Harvesting spinach for my spinach bags by hand is too much, you
And I'll
know?
say, like, that's one of the things I've been trying to do, because I can see that you have like an LLC or whatever it's referred to as, whatever your business is, but
Yep,
like I've been trying to figure out ways to make big purchases feed into the business plan, because it really makes it way easier to move within that room.
for sure. For sure. There's no doubt about it. And this, so for instance, like I say, the first years I did all that by hand. This
Yeah.
year I'm investing in the paper pot transplanter, right? And if, you probably know that system if you follow some of the same people that I do. Well,
Yep.
that's a large purchase, but I'm doing this as a business. Okay, this would not make sense for the home gardener to buy whatsoever, and it's not necessary to grow Salanova lettuce, right? At
Yeah.
all. I've been doing it for 2 years without it, but that efficiency tool will cut from me taking an hour or better to plant 400 head out and be able to do it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So from an efficiency standpoint on the farm, that's a big deal. But like, everybody's situation is different, and where we're at today is probably different than where we were at last year.
Yeah.
So, like you say, don't I would never chastise anybody for any way they're trying to grow. Like I told my girl, or like I told Muddy Boots, I'd rather see somebody
Just say boots,
using
man. Just
whatever
say
works
boots.
for them.
The money messed up.
Your,
Just
your,
say
internet,
boots.
your internet just got like super good out of nowhere. Like, what
You know?
happened? You were just like so choppy at first. Now you're just like perfect.
Yeah, he looks good now, don't he? But I would rather see somebody using sprays and miracle grows and all the good stuff that works for them and grow
Yeah.
their own food than not grow their own food. You know?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, however people want to do it and what works for them is what I think is right. For sure.
Yeah. So how was it with the CSA? Now, what you had to go through? You had to go through somebody coming to your property to certify you
Um
out.
Last year, the way I did it, because of everything that's going on in the world and whatnot, we actually, man, it was weird. Like for everybody, it was weird. I had planned in January to start a CSA, but still do farmers markets and some other things. Then when crap hit the fan, I just went, okay, we're going all in on our CSA. Excuse me. And we actually did home delivery. So we did 2 days a week and my wife, bless her heart, she was our delivery person. So 2 days a week, she would make a route, and do about half of them one day, half of them on Thursday and half of them on Saturday. This year, we're going to do 1 day delivery and I'm going to do 1 day farm pickup. Because for one, it cuts down on our time and expense. For two, there's a lot of folks that want to get out and come to the farm, right, and see where their food's growing and all of that stuff. So
Are you
I'm
gonna
going
be?
to try to utilize a little bit both this year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So-
Are you gonna? So are you gonna be trying to harvest twice a week within that delivery schedule, or are you gonna be trying to harvest more or less once a week?
I do 2 harvest days, but I'll harvest. See, like my salad mix and stuff. I grow Salanova lettuce, and I don't know if you're familiar with it or not, but if you post harvest it properly, it lasts a long time in the fridge. So I'm totally okay. I mean, I'm talking 2 to 3 weeks, right?
Okay. Wow. Nice.
Just as fresh as the day I harvested it. So I'm okay with harvesting that the day before delivery because I still want everything super fresh. So
Okay.
I'll harvest, maybe my Salanova lettuce. If I'm going to deliver on Thursdays, let's say Thursday's our delivery day, I will harvest Salanova lettuce on Wednesday, either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how this year. I'm still working all that out, but either Tuesday or Wednesday, and then I will harvest my roots and those and everything else. I'll do, my bagged greens. I'll do 1 day. I'll do my roots and everything else either the day of or the day before, depending on the situation. I do a
Okay.
lot of it the day of, because I don't have a walk-in cooler. But that's one thing I'm going to try to bootstrap and build myself. I build everything myself. So I'm going to try to build a walk-in cooler, hopefully.
You're gonna like use that Mr. Buddy switch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. The cool
Yep.
bot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cool bot. Yep.
Yeah,
See, like, and that's why I'm just like, that's why I'm so, I literally feel my blood burning with how hard I want to work because I want to get that land, because it's like, I'm young right now, and I know that I got the right now to really just go out there and just
I'm not.
do some
You just
crazy.
saw my video.
Did you ever look simple? Hey, have you ever looked at like I seen like on Facebook Market, like where a guy took, like you said, a walking cooler. What he did was take a refrigerated truck, like when they took the top off, and he used that as a walk-in cooler.
If I could find one, I would. Yeah, the big thing with me, I've been looking for a walk-in cooler of any sort for the last year, right? And either they want way too much money, or it's way too far away, or it's, if I can find one for what I can build one for, I would gladly go that route. Money boots for sure.
I'm just giving you a heads up. If you go into like the junkyard, salvage yards, right?
Yep.
Like some of those refrigerated trucks been totaled out. They sitting in junkyards.
That's a good idea.
Now they'll tell you, you have to get somebody to cut that refrigerator part on the back of it.
Yeah.
Now you hook it up to a solar power because the refrigerator unit is still there. It's the truck turned over, or a guy hit a tree or something and tore the whole engine up the front cab.
Yeah, no, that's
paid out. The refrigerator part on the back of that truck is still there. All you got.
Yeah, I never thought about the junkyards. That's the salvage yards. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Because a lot of companies, even though yes, it might be a 1982 refrigerated truck, but the refrigeration still works.
Yeah,
wow, that's awesome. Yeah,
so
that's a good idea.
The junkyard guy, he don't care because nobody's looking for that because of 1982, but it still works. Now you you get an inverter and you hook it up. That's a
great resource for sure.
Now you have an outdoor cooler. Now on the winter times, you don't even have to use it that much because it's already outside in the cold, somewhere on the back side of your property. And you put shelves in it because it probably already has shelves in it because it was a refrigerated truck top box.
Yeah, if I could find something, that's already built, that's better than I can just pull it in and go. So that affects my harvesting schedule for sure. Get back to your question there, Farmer Q. Yeah, it does. I've got a couple refrigerators that I can store all my bags of greens in. I do 5-ounce bags. But as far as my other stuff, coolers and that sort of thing, so I can't harvest, too many days out.
I got you. And that's just one of the things you got to get through, right? But
part of it. If you don't want to go into debt, in all honesty, a dude that knows what they're doing, right? You're very intelligent, obviously, from what I found. So you've got a clue as to how to grow things. So, myself, I like to bootstrap everything. However, that's not always right for everybody either. And a guy that knows what he's doing, if I knew 3 years ago what I know now, I would not have been afraid to take on a little bit of debt to get my infrastructure up and running right off the bat. If you're looking at it from a business standpoint.
Yeah, and I'm looking at maybe like what will end up happening is probably about 20 grand debt, which wouldn't really be that bad because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a lot from the start, but at the same time, I'm also gonna take my time and stage it out. I'm gonna start out with literally 6 chickens. That's literally what I'm gonna start out with. And from there, just build infrastructure, and plan it out, and watch other people in the area, close to the same region I would live in. Look at the slope of, and I'll reach out. I'll ask, hey, do you have the topography of your land? Can I take a look at that by any chance? I'll pay you for it. I don't mind. But the thing is, I'm gonna try to get as much of the fundamentals and the foundation set, because I understand if I can mess up in areas that aren't fundamental. Right. Now, when you start messing up on where your foundation is lied, whether it be your house, literally or figuratively, anything else on the farm, that's where I feel like you start getting really ate up. You know what I mean?
For sure. No, I think it's smart, and I've kind of done the same thing. I've staged this whole thing out over a few year period, and that's, we're following that, and where we're at year 3 is where we should be.
Y'all see this? Oh no, y'all can't see that.
What is it?
What is it?
A walk-in.
It's like a refrigerator. Yeah, see,
you just found one, didn't you?
No, you see how much it is?
I can't see it.
It's $2,800. Oh, $700.
$700.
That's
$700 is a darn good deal.
Oh, that's like one of the one you'd see in like 7-Eleven or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
Yeah.
If I could find something like that reasonably close, I would have it for sure.
Yeah. So it's like those things I said, sometimes you could just on Facebook, you can definitely find them.
Yeah, and that's where I look. You know, I look on the marketplace.
Hold on. Here go one better. Hold on. Here's go one better than that. Free.
Free.
Gotta go pick it up. Free.
Where's that at? I think it's a little far from me, probably.
Yeah, I know it's far for you. It's in New York. It's in Manhattan.
Yeah, free. And I do. I look at the marketplace a lot. That's where I do all of my farm marketing. You know, that's where I sell all of my CSA shares, and you know, we've got a pretty good following on Facebook. So that's where my marketing's done. I do the teaching and sharing and that sort of stuff over here.
Because if you think of that, right? Sometimes people just because they want to get rid of it, because they purchase something, they just want to get rid of it. All you gotta do is come take it down, put it on a trailer or put it on a flatbed and come and get it. It might not be sitting at your front door. Okay, that's why I tell people. Stop saying, "Oh, you might have to drive 3 hours away to go get it."
Yeah,
you know, just go get you a U-Haul.
And I would. I've been looking everywhere in the state, and even close to the northern parts of the surrounding states. I've been looking. It's just, man, around here they're not that easy to find. Not for an arm and a leg. And I'm still looking, of course. But if I can't find one, I'll build one. Darn sure.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I'm gonna tell you right now, and by springtime, there'll be a bunch of them out there for free because a lot of companies and business went out of business. So they're gonna.
You are right about that. That wouldn't surprise me a bit.
These landlords are gonna want to clean those places out. They want to redo the business. So you might luck up and just be ready to take that shot because pull the trigger on it. And you might just have to say, hey, babe, I'm gonna jump on my rent this U-Haul for $150 for the day. I'm gonna run out there with tools, and I'm gonna take the panels. You know, you might get the whole unit. If you
I agree with you. And we got our eye open. We're ready for it if it pops up for us. You know, that's because that's the biggest part of the infrastructure that we need right now.
A lot of companies went out of business, bro. A lot.
No, you're right, and I didn't even think about that. That's a biggie. Hey, Farmer Q, I was going to ask you, how sweet was that carrot you ate the other day?
Oh man, it actually was really sweet. Like really sweet.
I know. I love it when it freezes here. You know, I had some carrots in the ground still. Same with that. Did you try your spinach? That'll sweeten up too.
Well, I haven't. Well, I gotta start getting the spinach out of there because
that spinach looked all right. Everything else looked about like mine right now.
Yeah, the broccoli was oh my gosh, like that's literally just standing compost at this point or standing at this point because I'm just gonna cut it down and let it.
Yeah, they can only take so much. That kale might still live though, man. That kale is hardy.
Okay, and I was looking at it in the very, very inner part of it. I was like, okay, it'll probably pull through.
Yeah, that surprises me. I grow a lot of kale here, and that's one that just shocks me.
But what surprised me the most is that the romaine lettuce that was mature died off or whatever, because it was at the end of its life cycle, whatever. But the romaine lettuce that was inside the middle beds that were like smaller, in the vegetative state, I didn't see a single dead romaine lettuce.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, lettuce is cold hardy, man. I grow a lot of lettuce. And it's pretty cold hardy. So that wouldn't surprise me.
Well, and I wonder if it was because the snow was covering it the whole time too. Because I mean, we got down to -4.
Yeah, so it probably insulated it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, snow's a great insulator.
Ridiculous for us. I mean, out here in North Texas.
Yeah. It is ridiculous for where you're at. I was telling Muddy Boots that we hit -17 here the other morning when I got up to feed the cows.
That is ridiculous.
Not to tell light, you know, and like I told them earlier, I feel sorry for the people in Texas, but like I said, we deal with that every year. Yeah. So when I see, I mean, you know, those things, I feel I'm like, dang, man, now they just got to feel what we do every year. When people say, y'all can keep that cold up in the north, you can keep that there, man. We deal with that weather all the time. We got more weather coming here right behind this stuff. We got a big rainstorm coming here, and then after that, we got another snowstorm come behind that.
I know. They're talking the same thing here. Maybe tomorrow we might get, or even tonight maybe, having something roll through.
Well, where are you? Where are you at?
I'm in Michigan, so I'm about 30 miles north of Grand Rapids. I'm West Michigan. Yeah, I'm right up north with you.
Whatever come from your area is coming here.
Yeah. Yep. I'm 5B. we get everything off the Great Lakes, smacking us in the face. You know,
Come northeast.
Like y'all stuff is crazier for sure because y'all have the Great Lakes right there. So it's just
it's nuts.
Yeah, but where do you think it goes? It comes to
It
the
goes right
northeast.
to you.
yeah.
It comes from them right
It
to
goes
us.
right to you.
Damn. Smack us right in the head like bing bang.
So
when y'all have your little hurricanes, we don't like y'all either down there. Because when y'all have your little hurricanes, all that rain
comes up to us too.
It comes right up through Alabama, Georgia, and come up to Maryland, and right here and dump a whole load on us. Like,
what zone are you in, Muddy Boots?
I'm 7-8.
Okay, yeah. Woo, you're a little colder than me yet. I'm 5B where I'm at. And I don't know if it's because of the Great Lakes, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We get the same effects now. I mean, I'm not too far from Nova Scotia. We ain't about 4 hours away from Nova Scotia.
So you said
Right.
What did you say, Muddy Boots? What zone?
7-8.
7A. And you said you're 5.
I'm 5B.
So 5B is warmer, you said, than 7A?
Yes.
How does that work?
I just told you we get it from everybody.
Well, no, I get that, but I'm saying like the zones I thought it was like
higher the further north you go. I'm pretty sure.
yeah, like but Muddy Boots is a lower zone number than you.
No, he's 7A. I'm 5B.
Yeah. So you're 5B, and that means you're colder, right?
I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Muddy Boots should be. The higher the number, the colder it is. So 5, 6, 7. You see what I'm saying?
But I'm 8A. I'm zone 8A.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I know that in Michigan, there's like 3 or 4 different zones.
Hold up. Farmer Q. See, on the East Coast, it's three zones. It's 3 zones. You got people who live in like Baker Lake. They not in our zone, even though they next to us. Could be totally different weather patterns. There's people in New Jersey, different weather patterns. They still growing stuff. Like it all depends on where you are stationed at in the Northeast.
Oh, okay.
Like me and John, we in the frozen zone.
Gotcha. That's wild. I know it's cold where I'm at. That's all I know.
See, I'm more close. I'm more close to Maine than anything. I'm close to Massachusetts and Vermont.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like people go northeast. Northeast ain't just New York. New York is huge, but when you on that coastline, like I'm on the coastline, you getting that winter that coming from Nova Scotia, all these wedding patterns, they come from all over, bro. We get banged, but we deal with the cold every year, so it's like bombing the snowman. It doesn't bother us. Anybody who lived here for a long time, it doesn't bother us.
I would rather have Texas weather, but I've been in Michigan my whole life.
So,
It's like no escaping at this point.
I don't know.
but did you get affected by that Q? That storm? Did you get affected where you at? Or
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like I mean, we were like my street and the 2 adjacent streets were like the only streets in the neighborhood, like so we're one set of streets. There's probably like 50 set of streets. Everybody outside of us in our one set of three streets lost power.
Wow.
And the Walmart in the city, all the businesses lost power. Like the Walmart had probably like 5 or 6 pipe breaks. Like everybody in the neighborhood have a whole bunch of pipe breaks. Like I just got a text. That's why I was texting just then because my the guy that I have a contract with, like he's like, hey, you want to get out and do some inspections tomorrow? And I was like, I guess.
All right, get that money, man.
So, yeah, like but yeah, it's I say I guess because it's like I'm happy to get that money, but it's probably about to be some nasty stuff out there. So it is what it is, though.
Hey, somebody gotta go out there and do it, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the weather like where you're at now? You?
Funny enough, you asked that. It's like 68 degrees outside right now.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the thing. The swing is what gets me. It's from -4 degrees to 68 degrees. That's I don't know.
I just told you what I mean. I didn't tell you. I told you what it is. God's waking y'all up. I know how crazy that might sound, but God's like letting you know you got too complacent. A lot of y'all in the South got too complacent. He's trying to show y'all you're not prepared for what. No, you laughing. I'm being honest. Like, you're not prepared.
I know, like, it was bad for a lot of people, and it would have been bad for us if we lost power because we weren't prepared really. So
yeah, thank goodness you didn't.
And I hope a lot of you Texans woke up.
We'll see. Like it woke me up to like to wanting to get to the land more so because I could have done a lot more if we were outside of a grid right then. So what I plan to have is when we have the property, I'm gonna have 3 Tesla power banks. Like in my opinion, I really just don't feel like solar in itself is enough for what we want to have. Like in Texas, if we were to go black again, like we did, I'd want to have a running water supply. So that means that I'd plumb my plumbing. I'd probably put it about 3 feet in the ground just for the heck of it, and I'd make sure that the reservoir, the holding tank, is at least 2 feet in the ground. Like I'm talking about complete engineering. Like I'm just somewhere in Nova Scotia somewhere. I don't care. Like I'm gonna have my power banks and everything.
Because if I don't know how much land you plan to pick up, whatever, when you do, I think you should go with a thermal, like do your homework and do a thermal greenhouse, which a thermal greenhouse is about 6 feet in the ground.
Through the ground or whatever.
Yeah, and you put boulders on the floor of it. You put either cement or you put some type of boulder, some gravel, and slap you some boulders. So you go. So basically, the top of your greenhouse is really the top, is the roof, but the greenhouse is about 6 feet deep. You're doing a thermal because now you're using the thermal from the ground to heat your greenhouse up. So you don't have to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look in.
So would you would do that build based off of your soil type, wouldn't you? Because it would determine almost like, because certain soil types, you couldn't just gut that area and make that 6 foot cavern because you'd run into all kinds of issues. But there's a way around it every time. I'm just saying. I'm just wondering.
Well, it depends on what kind of property you buy. I mean, you can go down 6 feet. It depends on if you near a lake or something. Yeah, 6 feet, you might hit the water table, some type of water table. But usually it's certain. It depends on the property. That's, once again, it's all about the property. Because you can dig 20 feet over here where I live at. You can dig 20 feet and still don't hit nothing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I think my well's at like 100 feet here.
So is that considered like an artesian well if it's at that depth, or is it?
No,
like
we actually have an artesian well on the farm at my grandpa's at the old farmstead.
Yeah,
they hit an artesian well and they put in a pond there and it just flows all the time, right? But no, here it's just you drive a well down until you hit a water table and then you use a pump. Artesian well doesn't need a pump. Okay,
so what's the difference? Because I'm curious. I don't.
Well, there's a water. Okay, so you got a water table underneath.
Yeah.
So if it's that deep, artesian wells are usually a lot closer to the surface.
Yeah.
First of all, but yeah, so ours, it's 100 foot down. So there's a pump that you put in the well pipe and it pumps the water up from the water table. The water's just sitting down there, right? It's this big water table. It's huge, huge. And I don't even know how big, miles or whatever.
So there's stages to that water table, I assume, as in like there's a sedimentary heavy layer, and then is there a layer where you get to where it's like less sedimentary?
It's down there so far at 100 feet. There's really not hardly any sediment.
So it's just like rock, or is it like clay or something like that?
Yeah, ours is where we're at. It's a mixture between clay and sand.
Okay.
So that's our soil. With a lot of rocks in there as well.
So that water comes out super clean then.
It comes out super clean. Of course we have it tested whenever we drive a well or whatever.
I would think where you at, if you're gonna stay in Texas, I think your thing will be just a limestone crack. Because I think you got more limestone in your area of Texas is limestone.
Right.
Yeah, like where I live specific. Okay, let me get really specific here. In Garland, which is probably about 35 minutes driving, so probably about 20 miles, 22 miles away from here. If you dig, like, I'm not even kidding, 8 inches in the ground, you're hitting limestone.
Right.
So
that's a problem.
It's insane when you hit that Garland Rockwall area, but that's close. But here's the thing: there's only 2 lakes in Texas that are natural out of like I think 300 lakes, 200 something lakes, and so it's like it's a fantasy land out here. And let me just go ahead and say that right off the bat, because everything here it was going to be just like Texas, like it's naturally kind of going to be a swamped out area. I mean, they put a bunch of concrete out here. They dug everything out. But if you go east, you hit Louisiana, obviously. And then if you go northeast, you hit like the pines of Arkansas, and you hit Texarkana, and you hit all that, like the super tall pines and things like that. But then you come down to here where we are, and it's like a bunch of concrete. It's a bunch of like it's Lake Ray Hubbard, it's Lake Levon, and then it's weird. I don't know, but then that affects how everything's built out here too.
Right, for sure.
So when you dig a well out here in Princeton, back to the limestone point, like if I dig out here in my backyard, I can dig probably 5 feet and I won't hit limestone until about 5 or 6 feet. But needless to say, that means that limestone is here, but you have more or less topsoil, whether it be clay, whether it be sandy or whatever, you have more or less of that in different areas. So I'm curious, after that limestone crack that Muddy Boots Gardner said, what would happen for us? Like, because I hear people talk about wells all the time, but there's so many municipalities around here that they kind of condemn that kind of thing.
Right.
Oh.
Like not on the
totally
county end of
depends on where
aspect.
you're at.
If you're in the county, you can dig a well. If you're in the county, you can dig a well. But if you're in the city, you're not digging a well. Obviously.
Right. Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
Not here. You can dig
But-
well. You get water.
But then, like,
You're paying for it.
wells, do you have more iron in your water? Do you have more iron in your water? What's your ppms like? Have you tested like the parts per million of your water and things like that? Like I'm thinking from an agricultural standpoint.
Yeah,
like,
we haven't tested it in a while. But we got what we have mostly is calcium.
okay.
We've got high calcium. We don't have high iron. There's some iron, but very little. I mean, not like an overabundance. Mostly calcium in our water is the biggie.
Okay. So with your water, okay, never mind.
So I well water all my
That's
plants.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. I bet your plants love it. I bet your plants love that stuff too.
They do.
And I bet when you irrigate from your well, the temperature, the way that your roots react to that, because I remember when I was in Colorado and I was tapping from a well, the way that your roots react to the water from that, it's just different. It's just different.
55 degrees when it comes out of the well.
Yeah, exactly. Like the roots just love that cool water like that. Like
yeah. Yep. Yeah, so very, very blessed in that regard. I know that everybody's situation is different. You know, a lot of people have to save the rainwater.
Thanks for reminding me, guys. I gotta go ahead and hopefully next couple of weeks I gotta go buy me a 125 gallon tote.
Yeah,
Hook it up to my rainwater catchment. Because
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, because I'm either gonna hook it up, either put a sheet of metal on the other side of the chicken coop and let it run off the sheet, because I got asphalt shingles on the roof up here. But if I use the back part of the chicken coop and put a piece of sheet metal there and run that water, bend it, crimp it, and let the water run down and catch the rainwater, it's probably gonna be better for me, because I notice when we catch rain, when it rains here with thunderstorms, my plants go crazy.
Oh, for sure. If you can get lightning going on,
a lightning storm,
the plants love it. The plants love it.
Just a regular rain, it does great. But after a lightning storm with rain, the plants the eggplants were producing. It was producing to the end. They was producing. It was like it was explosion, like you said. And I realized when I did the research, something with lightning storms, the rainwater,
it adds nitrogen to the soil, I believe.
Like that, the plants boomed. I was
Do you know Farmer Q? Am I right on that?
Like with the rain?
Lightning.
With the lightning. Oh, okay, yeah. Like definitely when you have like a thunderstorm, it's definitely more nitrogen inside the
That's
water.
what I was thinking. It adds nitrogen to the soil. Yeah.
Or whatever. It takes off. The plants like boom, like
greens them right up. That's what they love.
Greens them right up, and don't let some heat come behind that. It just takes off.
Well, and the thing is too, like not all nitrogen is created equal. The nitrogen that you're gonna get from like rain or from the air, like from nitrogen propagule based organisms such as like legumes and beans, like are gonna be a lot more dramatic.
For sure.
Because it's like completely available. What's that?
You see
banana,
it?
Oh, the banana water. Yeah.
I use it too.
And then I got this. I was showing him earlier. I got this stuff. I think I was showing it in one of my other videos. This Enviro Ice, which is a nitrogen based plant food. So I'm gonna add that to the banana. So I'm gonna get my potassium and my not free, but free nitrogen and add it in that water compound, and that's gonna be off the rip. I mean, already if y'all didn't probably see my other videos, my beds are already seasoned up already.
Money Boost. Do you drink coffee?
Yeah, but I don't drink it like y'all do.
Well, I mean, save your coffee grounds.
Yeah, it wouldn't even save right, because I don't drink as much as you guys. Some of y'all guys drink 3-4 cups. I might drink a couple
4 cups, man. I do a couple pots a day.
See, I don't do that. A pot of coffee probably lasts me a whole month.
I'll drink 1 cup a day at most, but I feel like that's a lot. But like I haven't had a cup of coffee in like 4 days. So it's
I
but
go without coffee. So I'm
but
like
coffee, but for me, I'm such a naturally high energy person. Like right now, I'm running off fumes. This is me running off fumes right now. So
what?
if I am at my like morning energy, and it just seems like I'm on coffee all day. But if I drink coffee and I came in here,
You bounce off the walls when
it would be insane how fast and how much I would be talking and how like it would just be crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So now I just thought about that. Is in our supermarket, they just opened up a Starbucks.
There you go.
And I know Starbucks, somebody was saying Starbucks, they have a program where you can get their coffee grinds for them and you just got to pick it up every day or whatever, bring it back. So now I know the people, I might not be the first one, but I'm going to ask them when I go over there tomorrow because I got to go tomorrow on an appointment over there in that town. And I'm going to ask them, can I get their coffee grinds? If I got to go up there every day after I drop the kids off at school, go up there and
It's
pick
a
up
great resource. Even if you're adding it to your compost, it's a great resource. You can get your
Yeah.
hands on it on a regular basis. For sure.
And I heard they got what? They coffee is awesome. That the bean they use is awesome.
That's what they say. I don't know. I don't go out and buy Starbucks.
When y'all say coffee grinds, right? Now going back to like Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, your commercial grade coffee beans, right? Does it make a difference?
Don't know. I don't think.
Coffee beans different grades.
Yeah, I suppose you're probably right.
I don't know, but I'd imagine that since the coffee bean is the fruit of whatever it's coming from, it's going to have an impact on the nutrient profile. It's not going to be pure nitrogen like they sell it. I think it's going to definitely have a little bit more of a profile than that. That being said, I don't really know the growing properties of the plant that it comes from, so it's hard for me to really even have a true input on it. You know what I mean? Because the fruit of that plant might be.
That's part. See, that's not the part of you might know. It's the part of discussion.
Yeah,
you can throw that out. Like, would it be a different because you have some type of because coffee beans have different grades.
Yeah,
you got coffee beans that go for $1,000 an ounce. Then you have some coffee beans that go for less than 25 cents an ounce. That's the stuff you get.
As far as nutrients, I'll tell you right now, it's not going to have much of a difference if you're talking about like stuff like that. That's just like acquired. That's like acquired taste based things. Like, I mean, you might have a difference as far as the coffee beans that people, the coffee that people drink that they have some kind of cat eats and then poops back out or something like that. But even that is going to not be very different because the cat's not really eating that coffee to get nutrients. It's kind of eating it as like a drug-based thing in nature because animals do that kind of thing. So
I know about a cat eating coffee. What?
There's some coffee out there. I forgot where it's exactly from, but a cat, they literally have like it's a natural process, but a cat eats it. A particular variety or species of cat eats it, poops it out, and they harvest the poop of the cat because there's a slight chemical process that happens inside of the cat with the coffee bean that changes the chemistry of the coffee on a subtle level that changes the impact on your actual stimulant-based effect from the coffee. And they charge a immense load of money for it.
I got to stop for a second. Now, the bean doesn't digest. That means the bean comes back out and they wash it off. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, they wash it off and everything like that, but the bean
the bean doesn't digest. Okay. The bean doesn't digest.
It doesn't digest inside their body, but it chemically changes to a very slight degree.
Oh, okay.
Because of the acids inside of that cat's body is a certain perfect pH for that thing to react at a certain level. And it has a particular chemical catalyst within it, probably an enzyme of some sort that reacts with that coffee bean exactly to make it change in that subtle way.
You think that is primitive? Like, won't they just, as you said, an enzyme? Enzymes, they know the enzyme. So why they just don't make it and put it in a bottle?
Well, because this enzyme is just, there is so much more. Okay, when you look at the periodic table of elements, there is so much more than just those elements that you see on that periodic table. I'm going to tell you that right now. And it's not so much of it's just our human need to quantify things. That's what makes us be so short-sighted. I'm telling you right now. And I'm not trying to get all philosophical, but when we try to quantify everything, we lose sight of the abstract and what could be. And the could be is not false. The could be is there because we don't know everything. Let's just be real about that. So when we start trying to put labels and names on things, and I'm not trying, like I said, not trying to get philosophical, but when it comes to our human ego, it's like it's like something inside of us. Oh, we have to know. obviously you want to know to a degree so you can do it right, so you can functional, so you can build on a process, so you can build, like, you want to have something to build on. But when it comes to like the unknown, you don't put a label on it. Like, I don't know, like there's stuff still to be discovered. There's 7 billion people on the earth, or whatever number it is, but there's still animals being discovered every single day.
For sure.
And when you say that, like, that means that microbes, we haven't even scratched the surface of microbes, and then they're selling you microbes in a bottle. Let's just take a think of that for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I do know is that I'm not using cat poop beans in my coffee grounds.
Exactly. Hey, I'm not really either. I wouldn't do it for money. Like, if they paid me to do it, and I'm not going to pay $1,000 to do it.
And I don't know the breakdown of my coffee grounds. All I know is that it's great in the compost. The worms absolutely love it, and my plants seem to enjoy it.
Hey, that's what I'm saying, right?
I'm
with it.
It's
no, I'm just saying, because like I said, there's different grades of coffee, and that's what I'm saying. Like, different.
I agree with you.
Well, and I'm willing to have the discussion too. Don't get me wrong.
I'd be interested to see the research on that, because who knows? Maybe an espresso bean, right, has a higher nitrogen level than a Colombian bean. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said, we don't know everything. Once again, I keep telling people,
I don't know.
You follow me. I'm not coming as no
I just want to grow food, man.
I'm just telling you what works for me. I'm just the type of person just going to ask the question. Now you can give a straight answer. I'd rather somebody say, I just don't know.
And I'll tell you that too. I appreciate the questions for sure. I think those questions should be asked. I'll probably say I don't know more times than not, but I'll always tell you the way I do it, and it's
I'll give you
necessarily the right way.
You know, if I don't know was a cake, I'll give you the sprinkles. Okay.
Yeah.
How about that? Because we're not going to just say I don't know and just not talk about it. I'll give you a fancy way of telling you that I don't know about it. Right.
Yeah.
Like, at least kind of talk about how, because honestly, it's like, right. I said that I'm like, hey, I don't know.
That's an ego.
Well, no, I said that I don't know I know that there's a process that happens, and that remains a fact. So now, because you know that there's a process, a chemical process that is happening, that remains a fact. Now you're breaking down different things that is happening around the whole process, and you're gonna get to the I don't know part, but you're talking about what you do know at first, right? I'm just messing around.
Let me tell you how real shit is for me.
I agree, man.
I don't know about this. Go ask Lioncrest. I'm not all the nonsense. Go ask Lioncrest. He comes on live at a certain time. Go check his channel and you can ask him, hey, I don't know about CSAs, but you know what? Go over to Simple Ain't Easy. He know what he's talking about. I don't know. I'd rather just tell a person I don't know. I used to get pissed off.
Speaking of Simple Ain't Easy, like, I actually got my calendar rolling today because of that. Just
right
like
on, buddy. Did that work for you?
I mean, I'm still baby stepping it, and I still have the video on bookmarks so I can actually go through different processes of it. But I've actually I started my first event because I haven't started the seeds today because I've gotten so much stuff done outside of that I still gotta, like, the seed. Let me see. You can see it on the back of the printer, like it's actual 72 seeds.
We see the greenhouse effect thing.
But yeah, like, I'm gonna when I pop that out, I got my coconut coir in the other room because I start my seeds in coconut coir because I have so much success in that stuff. Obviously, I transplant it fast, but that stuff's sterile. I never have dampening off with coconut coir. Pure, I get the brick and just break that down. But needless to say, I get that thing out and I'll plant everything I got. So I wrote down the stuff already. I have 60 that I'm planting. I have 60 seeds that I'm planting. So I have 10 of each seed. Nice. But I'm gonna actually document every single seed, like, not the time, but the day that I planted it, so that I can, because I have the information on the back of the seed pack, or I have the information like on some kind of website, whatever I want to find this resource. I can then, when I plant it, I can mark the day of germination outside of sprouting. And then once it germinates, I start that time clock.
Yep, exactly right. I'm
going to ask you a question because I know you should be already growing stuff. Your growing season started, right? But due to this weird weather pattern, is it throwing off y'all guidelines of growing?
So
how was you doing inside to my outside growth?
Outside, yeah. Like the growing season, it wasn't really like this. There's like, I call this the officially unofficial growing season, and what I mean by that is it's like you're growing all these winter greens, you're growing all this stuff that's kind of in between the spring, summer dominant season that's going to take over most of the year, but you're getting harvest. I mean, okay, so I started a lot of my stuff in late August, like mid-September even, like, and I got successional crop harvest throughout all the way up until the hard freeze. And if I didn't have that hard freeze, I would have had to chop all my crops down to literally go to my next spring harvest. So like it's more or less of like it didn't affect the actual growing season per se, but it affect. I'll tell you what it did affect. When that power went out for everybody, just about, even in the Dallas, all these 100,000 plus million people power going out, these nurseries weren't able to keep their plants warm, a lot of them. So, I mean, like you had some that probably had propane reserves, probably had like doomsday plans. Good businesses are going to have doomsday plans. That's just going to remain constant for forever. But, and I mean, even if you don't have one, you can still be a good business. I'm not trying to box that in, but, needless to say, a lot of the nurseries around here are getting wrecked. If you go inside of any Lowe's, any Home Depot, any plants that were inside, outside, they're all wrecked. Like, the neighborhood on my Facebook group, people were posting pictures of inside their house where their fish tanks were ice cubes, solid ice cubes. Like, so that's crazy when you have the inside of people's houses getting to that temperature. There's been confirmed at least 30 people dead from the actual just like cold itself.
Golly.
My thing is, a little boy died too. That was a little hurtful to think about.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, I'm sure that there's a lot more dead now that they're going in people's houses because people probably stayed in their house. Oh, I got to stay here or whatever. How people get.
So you're saying mostly a lot of people in Texas have what they call electric heat then?
Yes.
Wow.
Dominant. I'm talking about 90% plus.
Wow. I'm glad we don't have electric heat. We got natural gas, bro. I mean, gas come up in his mouth, skunker.
Yeah, but Muddy Boots, isn't that run through a furnace? That's run off a fan and a thermostat?
Oh yeah, but no, I mean, see,
your heat will still be out if electricity goes out. Right? No. I mean, not you because you're prepping, but I mean, most people where you're at.
Gas line never stops, bro. Electric can go. You still see. That's when you got friends in higher places. You still, long as that gas coming up in there, you can get it going.
You still light it. Yep.
You can still light it, even if the electricity goes. You still can light because you got gas flowing. Once you got gas flowing, the heat's what it is. Because what it is, the electric. What you talk about is the electric igniter. They go to light it, but you don't need that.
But no, what he's talking about is the fan that transfers the heat from the furnace. Like that's what he's talking about.
Oh no, I got a push bar. We got what pressure bills up in the tank.
Oh, nice.
We got a pressure push.
So it's like it's pretty much like I call that like, and I have a weird way of thinking about stuff, but I think of that as like a bellow. Like it's like a heat bellow. It almost just like burps out heat.
Right. Yeah, I know he's talking about forced air, what we call forced air here.
Right.
Forced air heat. We don't have forced air heat. We have what we call back in the hood days radiate. Well, it's not radiate.
Like the forced air heat, how much would it take to like if you had a tap specially made for like a generator port? Like I bet it doesn't take much to run that through like an actual alternative electricity source.
No, you can run it on generator.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, trust me, there's gonna be some generators being popped up around.
Bro, I'm telling y'all though, look into these Tesla power banks. Like y'all don't sleep on these.
I agree with you. I haven't looked into them deeply, just a little bit. I think that you can actually
charge them without solar too. You can just charge them up like with regular electricity.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like the Tesla's cars, they you use regular. Yeah, it's the same technology.
Yeah, so like you power it up and it literally. Okay, I'm telling you, like. A 4-bedroom house, full appliances running 24 hours.
Yeah, but here goes Lion Crescent. But
if you hit an EMP,
it's called the upfront cost.
Oh yeah,
those upfront costs, some Teslas, because a lot of people here, where I'm at, is putting them in. But those things are like they're not the cheap.
They're probably not cheap.
No, they're not cheap. But see, here it goes. That's the problem. The problem is those you're talking about, big bucks. Now you got the other cheap stuff the government helps you get. Those are cheap. Those are affordable. But when you go into Tesla, you're looking probably at 50 grand right off the rip.
No, a power bank is $8,000. A power bank is $8,000.
No, we talking about Teslas, the ones you're talking about. You're not just getting one.
Like no, I'm talking about Tesla. The Tesla power bank is $8,000.
That's not so bad
per unit.
Per unit, yes.
That's what I'm saying. You looking at you just talking about the unit. You're not talking about somebody installing this stuff for you.
No, the unit. If you look it up, it's like a little battery that has wheels on it, literally, and you tap it into the house. Like,
oh, you talking about a jumper? Oh, I thought you talking about actually the ones they're putting in people's homes in now.
Well, like you can have the power bank like tapped into your like power grid of your house, but you can actually have it like ported into your house as well. Like it's made.
Oh, you talk about like a jumper. Oh, no, these people here, they ain't doing all that here. They ain't doing that here. They actually got this joint sitting in their garages. They even building homes where it's 5 of those joints sitting on a wall.
And you're just talking about like the power banks though, and the power banks are, I mean, power banks in general are going to be super good for you in any situation, unless there's an EMP. And like, I'm wondering, like, okay, if you have an EMP, you're messed over. I mean, but that's kind of extreme about it. Like, I mean, if you're having an EMP, you got more problems to worry about. If you got somebody setting off an EMP around you, unless it's a solar flare. If it's a solar flare or something,
you go panicking. You scaring the people, man. They're not even here.
There's not enough people here to scare.
Yeah, here it goes, people. And I love when I catch people like that. When y'all say it, it's called a match or a flint or something. Your ancestors didn't have no electricity. We'll just be back in the Stone Age. You hope you have a rock. You go and some kindling. You don't. We got our head, like we just said, we got our head so wrapped around. We don't have electricity. The world just came to a standstill. No, you just gonna have to go back to your ancestors, man. You're gonna have to go get that flint.
Sure. And like, I think that it's important to have that set of skills, but I think that being versatile is also important too. Like, I think that I'd be remiss if I sat there and I built like, and I had a business or whatever, and I had a very profitable business, and I was reinvesting in the business, I was saving money, and I still had money to play left over, and I could buy some of these things to preserve my homestead in the current state that it's in for as long as possible. I think that putting me at that point would set me at more of an advantage, because I want to have that skill set that you're talking about, Muddy Boots. Like, I'm going to have that. I'm going to have my snaring. I'm going to have my trapping. I'm going to have my fire starting. I'm going to have a flint, all that stuff. It's going to be there. But I think that if you have the availability, why just give it up immediately? You know, if it puts you in
I got you, but see, I'm more practical with the crap. I understand everybody been baby finds in America, right? I heard people die sitting in the car waiting for a roadside assistant when they could have went to the oldest shit in the world. Is your 2 feet and get the fuck out the car and walk. Okay, you'd have been at a house in 5 miles. You could have walked 30 minutes, 5 miles in 30 minutes and knocked on somebody's front door, but you decided to sit in the car waiting for a roadside assistant and froze to death.
Dang, like,
because
I've heard of stuff like that happening. Like, I mean,
I'm sitting here saying 5 miles down the road, you could have knocked on somebody's door, but you was talking about, I'm waiting for the roadside assistance. I don't know what to do. Oh my God, my car stopped on me. Get out the damn car and walk. Put these old bitches to test.
I get the like premise of what you're saying though. Movement is life. Getting out there and getting it. You got to get it at some point. You can't just hunker down all the time.
Yeah, no, and I agree with what both you guys are saying. I mean, from Farmers Q standpoint, like the Tesla banks and those types of things, those are great for when normal emergencies happen, right? Like, so you can just keep going on life as normal, and that's important. And if you have the abilities to set yourself up to do that, absolutely. Yeah. And then if it gets even worse, right? Then like Muddy Boots is saying, we need to know how to go from there as well. Not just
like he said,
it's only going to get this bad.
Exactly.
And I think Farmer Q knows that.
Prime example, right? You know, he said he went out there with hand tools, right? And farmed that 1/4 of an acre he did, right? You got somebody right now, if they don't have a damn tiller in their hand or they don't have a lawnmower to run, they don't know what to do.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I know, man. I deal with it all the time.
Give me one sharpshooter. I can do anything with one sharpshooter.
You talking about sharpshooter? What kind of
Like
sharpshooter?
the skinny shovel that's like 10 inches long. That's like that you can dig up.
I thought you talking about a sharpshooter.
Oh no. Like, I mean, as far as the tools, like if I have a sharpshooter, I can break through rock. I can break through concrete. I can break through anything. I can do anything with a sharpshooter. I can rake dirt. I can slide that thing flat on the ground, and I can move yards of dirt. I've done it.
They don't have that skill set.
And that's what I was just iterating on your point. That's what I was saying.
Yeah. No, he was telling me he did the whole he did a 1/4 of an acre with hand tools. He still, he just said he paid somebody a couple $100 to come with a tiller, and that's just because whatever, he just got tired and he just said, this?
Too many rocks, man.
Yeah. But he did. He went out there on a 1/4 of an acre, man. You know how much is a 1/4 of an acre by hand tools?
3250 foot beds, brother.
Yeah.
And some people right now call themselves gardeners and homesteaders. We're like, you lost your mind. If they don't have a tiller or something to ride on, that crop wasn't going to come in.
I will tell you my favorite tool. favorite hands down tool right now is my broad fork.
Oh man,
yeah, there you
Love
go.
it.
Just get in there and just make those channels right.
You know, I do what I call minimum till. I till all of my when I'm bed shaping, I till it one time. And I haven't touched my beds with a tiller since. So all my beds that I built year 1, I didn't till year 2.
Yeah.
So epic. There's that word again. All right.
Epic.
If it fits. Hey guys, I suppose, man, I've been on here for a long time, and so have you.
All right.
I appreciate you all so much for jumping on here with me. My
Oh,
first time.
One thing, simple and easy. This is the guy, because what you did earlier, I know Q wasn't here to see that. What you did was Q teaching me how to do what you just did earlier in this thing about how you can share that video on the side. You could be talking to people, like when you showed that green thing you showed the beds. How you do it. But you said you couldn't see it. Now Farmer Q can show you. I don't know why you couldn't see your own.
See, I can see the whole screen. Like when I pull that up, I can see what I'm sharing to you guys, but I can't see it like on my screen, like me and then it. If that makes sense.
So I'll tell you what I told Muddy Boots. There's 2 solutions to that. One, literally just make the windows be split in half so that you can.
Okay.
Or just get 2 monitors. I'm not going to get 2 monitors because I'm not doing this like that very often.
Right.
But I just take the tabs and I split it in half, and I literally just align it to where it looks like it's one tab, but it's just split in half because it's Chrome. So it looks like seamless, but it's still split in half. Yep. And then you just have your StreamYard over here on one side, and then you have your YouTube video, and you can manipulate it. And the thing about it is, if you just click the box of the YouTube video, you can manipulate it with your keyboard as opposed to the mouse. So you never see the cursor on there.
Yep.
And then you could just kind of just click back on the actual frame of the StreamYard and manipulate it from the master control.
Okay, that makes sense. You know, it was like when I did my video on my calendar and I was showing stuff, I do that via Zoom, and that works really well. You know, because I can share it all and keep myself
on point, because I know you're ready to get going. But yeah, you can do live, like when Q was doing with me, we went private. It wasn't live like we doing now. He could show you in private. Yeah. So like if you catch up with him, I don't know, you could say, hey, can you catch up with me and do a private? He could show you how to do that.
I'm glad to
I appreciate you guys helping. Before you all go, call me Cody. I don't know if you see how it's pronounced, how it's spelled over there. It's spelled all goofy. So
who?
My name's Cody.
Cody.
I know it's spelled goofy. Everybody pronounces it wrong the first time, but no, man, going forward.
Yeah, but that's my name. This is the whole thing too. Everybody don't have to say Muddy Boots. You can just say Boots now. Just Boots.
Right on.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not growing fast, and I was working on some stuff that I was trying to figure out myself, where I took off my subscriber count so nobody can see how many people I got.
Mm-hmm.
I was learning how to, like I said, I hope you can't see my videos unless you subscribe. Now, that's like I asked Q, because Q know about that. I was watching these videos this morning, where people cannot watch your video unless they subscribe to you. Is that possible?
People can't watch your video unless they're subscribed to you?
Yeah.
I don't recall that.
One guy was saying the only way they can watch your videos is if they subscribe to you. So like say if they come over to Farmer Q, right? They have to subscribe to your channel to watch your channel.
I'll tell you, and I'm not going to get too deep into this foxhole because this is definitely a foxhole you just opened. With the join function, when you hit a certain subscriber count, you can essentially like set it up to where only certain content is available to the people with your join list. But that's way beyond where we are right now.
Correct. We're not big enough to start memberships.
Yeah, but as far as because my wife, her channel's monetized and stuff, and she can do all that, but she doesn't right now, and she knows people who do, and we help them with that. So like that's why I'm giving you that insight. But like as far as like that goes, as I can recall right now, there's not a thing like that.
I don't know because I'm subscribed. You can't subscribe to yourself. So when I click on it, but if somebody who's not subscribed to me, that's what I say. I gotta either make a phony one.
Just make another account.
Because if you go on my channel now, you'll see Muddy Boots. You could click on the icon to subscribe. I did that. Then on the top of my banner, you're gonna see it says subscribe to Muddy Boots. And the guy had put it where it was a code that he put in. It was called question mark, subscribe, confirm equals 1 underscore 1. It was a code behind your link. So I don't know. I did it. It worked. But I can't subscribe to my. I mean, So I gotta find somewhere to just see if that's true, because the way I understood that they cannot watch a video unless they subscribe to you. Because LB, do you want to subscribe to do you want to subscribe to Farmer Q? If they don't, then they can't see your video. That's what I was looking on YouTube.
So you would use that as essentially a leverage chip. Like, if you want to watch my content, subscribe. But then they could just watch your content and unsubscribe. That's why I'm just like.
I mean, you see what I mean?
Well, I think Boots was trying to more so to weed out the trolls.
Oh,
Right?
okay, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
So only if they're really actually interested would they be able to follow.
Because remember I think I was telling you too at this time. I was telling him is that you can see like, okay, I got 17 people in my chat, right? But then it says you got 23 people looking at you. You only got 10 likes, but it says you got 30 people looking at you.
Oh yeah, because you can hide that for sure. Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it's a feature that a lot of people might do know. I don't know, to stop the trolling. Okay, you can deter the trolling. You can't stop them officially 100%, but it's a deterrent.
Oh, if you're live and I'm a moderator, I could hide. I can make somebody not be visible but think they're still visible. Yeah, there's that feature.
Oh, it is? I didn't know that.
That's what I was thinking. Like if you come over and block them or put them in a timeout,
and you can do that without them knowing that they're in timeout and they're still talking and stuff like that.
You can do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
you can't do it through StreamYard. You have to have like a moderator who's in YouTube doing it for you.
Right. Right. Now, how do you assign moderators?
So there's two ways to do it. You can either be on YouTube Live and assign them in YouTube Live. Okay. So what I would do is I would go on my phone and be on YouTube, be on my live stream on YouTube and assign them, or you can go to your actual your like studio page. Yep. And like if you go to your studio page and go to like content, there's like a tab that's like branding or something along all those like different stuff up there. There'll be like, if you click and play with that a little bit and look at every single section, there'll be a section that says add moderator to your channel. Okay. Because you're not just adding them as a moderator to your live stream, you're adding them as a moderator to your channel, but they don't have all kinds of access like you would think. It's just like live streams.
That's good to know, man. Thanks.
Oh, no problem.
He's the guy that you can get in contact. He can show you a private lesson.
Yeah, but just shoot me an email.
Hold me to it, Cody. I didn't say, Cody, I don't want Q to get mad with me. I ain't say he's gonna show you for free, so I don't know. I ain't speaking for him. I'm not. Because I don't want to be thinking like I said, oh, Farmer Q will show you, but Farmer Q like,
I appreciate all you guys sharing what you can. Never is
because like I told you, the community for some reason they have an attitude with me. I don't know, but it's all good.
You gonna let this man go? You gonna let Cody go?
He's almost 3 hours, but it works on it. No,
I got nowhere to go. I just don't want to.
I'm just messing with Muddy Boots because Muddy Boots, because you're a little bit long winded. You be getting long winded.
Oh no,
that's why I enjoy him.
Hold up. No, because what happened was he popped up live and then he asked me to come up because he was trying to figure stuff out. And then Lori's World came in and another couple people came in. Then you popped up and Elizabeth Adventures. I don't know if they still here.
Now, I appreciate you, Muddy Boots, for sure.
Oh yeah. I appreciate you too, bro. Like whenever we talk, just always stay you and do you exactly how you do it. And I'm not saying do it any different. I'm just messing with you, bro.
I ain't doing it, but see, this is my thing. But this not got me in trouble. It was just one troublemaker. It was only one troublemaker in the whole situation. But I found out that a lot of us adults is not adults today. It's still not adults. So this one troublemaker, you already know who that person is. You already got to hide. Not on the other side of the fence, on this side of the fence. Was a troublemaker that she started a bunch of mess, and then certain people started picking, whatever reason, picking sides like they was on a football team and shit.
Goodness gracious.
And I'm like, okay, and Jan would tell you like, what did I do to anybody? I didn't do nothing to anybody. I just
Muddy Boots like, let me get the smoker and get some hot dogs. We had a football game. No, I'm just playing.
and those people, and like Jan was asking them, what did he do to you? What did he do to that person? I just say, you're just not feeding off me no more. Since I'm not letting you eat off my back no more, I become the bad guy. But this was already in the makings. That's what I was telling people. this individual was rocking with me, but at the same time, she wasn't rocking with me. I was helping that person out. And then when I'm like, I'm going to go do my own thing, the horns came out. Like, wait a minute. This was in the workings. Like I said, Simply Jan knows exactly what it was. I was moving out of this situation. So when everybody like, where Michael Farmer went, this was in the work. This had nothing to do with homegirl. It had nothing to do with nobody. This was already in the works. And what I like about in the works, if you watch in the community, people are doing what God told me to do. How crazy it might sound. You see them, they're starting to put Corinthians and they putting scriptures in there. They talk about God more now in their videos. That was my mission. Now, giving away $25 gift cards and all that crap, that wasn't my mission. That was God saying, you need to go get these people and put God back into gardening. And that's it. Now you start over, son, in my name. Now, who don't follow, now this is where you're going to find out who your true followers are, like Jesus, and who are the deceivers and actors. So when I switched over to Muddy Boots, right, it ain't but 70 people. You get what I'm saying? So what happened to the 900 actors? Because see, by this time, everybody know who Muddy Boots is by this time right now. So that 900 was fake. You get what I'm saying? And that's what we was talking about earlier. I don't know what you're doing, where you say you got 1,000 subscribers, but only 60 of them is real.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather have 100 or 1,000 true followers, right, than 100,000 subscribers.
Well, that's
exactly.
Those people that are true are going to stick around through your development as a person, through
Absolutely.
you changing and developing, and whatever happens, the ebbs and flows of you as a person. They're going to stick around for that, and like that's why I say, like those shout outs are nice and everything, but I would rather those shout outs if I was at like 3,000 subscribers and somebody who is at like 2,000, like 4,000, 5,000 subscribers, and we were kind of close to being mutual or something, and they just wanted to shout me out because they know that their fan base enjoys the same exact thing that I have to offer. That's different.
Well, that's like I was saying to Muddy Boots earlier, is I want people to follow because I'm adding value. If I'm not adding value, don't subscribe just to subscribe or because somebody told you to. I mean, I don't want a bunch of subscribers that aren't here because they enjoy the content I'm putting out and what I'm trying to help people do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just, and that's, you know.
I told Q the same thing. I told him the same thing. I'd rather just do what I got to do, because you start getting fuzzy. You don't even know who's who real.
Well, and the reality is, you know, I think doing it that way, you can still grow a monster channel and a monster business.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's just doing it the right way.
And I walked away. But like I said, I had no interviews asking me no questions like that. So I just walked away. I could have sat there and be fun. Like I told people, like Jano, I could have just said, all right, today I'm Muddy Boots. I could have just kept my 900 fake people, right? And just changed my name to Muddy Boots Gardener. It still had the 940.
Yeah, but here's the thing too, and I think you both realize this, but in the grand scheme of what we're doing on YouTube, 1,000 subscribers isn't anything.
Doesn't mean nothing.
I mean, and it's not even. Yeah, it gets you monetizing ads. First of all, that's not even the best place to monetize, in my opinion. So it's just a number, you know. And any large channel is way more than 1,000. So that first 1,000, you weren't giving up much, in my opinion, right? Those 900 ain't going to be the ones to bring you to 50,000.
Yeah,
they're just not.
So that's what I said. When people like email me, I would have never done. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it because I'm doing it in the name of Jesus. I'm not doing it in the name of Microfarmer. I'm not doing it in the name of Q. I'm doing it because I just wasn't in the right spot. Now, some people could love it. They love that lion den. They love it. They love that area. I didn't like it. I didn't like where it was going. Like I said, people were just latching on to me because I had popularity. That's what my issue was. It was like you becoming a false god. Like they're not even worried about you. And I seen what they did to Michael Jackson and Prince. Like people build you up to shut you down instantly when you don't comply to their bull crap. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, Q. Y'all know what I'm talking about, Cody.
For sure, man.
Like, they'll build you up, right? And soon you don't want to go along with their plans. You're the worst thing on the planet.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you hardly. And that's people, unfortunately. You know, that's why I got out of real estate and started digging in the dirt. I just, you know what I mean? I know people, and as much as I love people and love to help people, they're not all fun to deal with. You know? So it's just,
and I don't want nobody to build me up to tear me down the worst way.
No,
it's like you said, what that story say in the what is the to gain the world and to lose your soul?
Yep.
I'm not gonna lose
Yep.
my soul, not with Facebook. I might lose my soul on $100 million if I can steal it, but I'm just saying. I ain't gonna lose my soul on YouTube, that's for sure. I'm not gonna do that much.
Oh, that's funny.
God, forgive me about this $100 million, but God, you understand me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to talk about like, you know, God, you know that $100 million. I'm sorry. I forgive me, but I ain't gonna get myself messed up with no YouTube. Not no 1,000 subscribers.
No. I tell you what, I sure do. I've really enjoyed following the both of you. You know, since I found you. So I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. Hope you don't mind.
Hey.
No, bro. Listen, I always
around too.
When you see kin folks, the people that really truly follow, those are the people who still follow me to this day.
Yep.
They know what I set out to do. Now the fakes and phonies, those are the ones that's running the chops because they don't know me because they never followed me from the beginning. Like you just follow me. You came to a section when I became popular.
Right.
But if you went to the old stuff, you're like, oh wow, we got that guy pegged wrong. But see, you didn't take the time to go back and see who I really was. You just saw me at the popular where everybody was just saying, who's this guy Micah from? Or who's this guy Micah from? He messing up words and stuff. That's all you heard. You did not go back and see the first videos. What I say, I was concerned about people and how I grew up and what kind of person I am.
Right.
And that's what happened. And that's when the Lord told me, say, listen, give it all up and show them that you can be bigger and better because you don't need that. And your true followers are going to follow. And the true follower, I kid y'all not, is the same people besides a few new ones. The main numbers are the ones who were with me from day one.
Right.
The people that subscribe to me are the people, most of them are from day one. They're not the 300 subscribers. These are I'm under 100, right? But 50% of these people right now is day oneers. The ones who with me from the beginning. So I didn't have to go explain nothing to them. Go, oh my God, you know that girl, you know that person did this and that person did. They're like, we like you for you. And that's at the end of the day, even with Q. Day ones, remember your day ones. So when things do go astray, you know those day ones gonna stick with you.
Yeah. Like, I'm kind of stuck on people liking me for me because I can't be anybody else. Take me or leave me. You know what I mean?
Like Gigi Naturals, OCD chick. Those are day twos. I ain't gonna say day ones. They're the day twos, and they came. They still rocking with a brother. You know what I mean? They were there. Those the people showed they work. You know what I'm saying? They just say phony. They actually. Oh, I'm coming over. Ken Folks Farm came over. Lori's work came over. Lioncrest came back over. Even though he just got, but he came back over. You know what I mean? People who's gonna be your day ones, and that's why I'm saying okay. 900, 950. I think it was 900. Where was that Q? 945, 950?
Yeah, something like that.
We're close to 1,000.
Close to 1,000, right? Now I'm under 100.
Hey, I'm right there with you.
So
I'm hoping I roll 100 this week. We'll see.
So
it'll come and go, man. It'll come and go.
I know, man. It goes up and down. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is, it's called trimming off the fat. Because if anybody was truly following you, are still going to follow you.
Yeah, I don't get hung up on the numbers yet at all. I'm more hung up on what kind of value can I add every time I get on. That's you know.
That's I want to keep it.
You want not like-minded people. You want people with an open mind.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely. I want people that want to learn how to grow food is what I want. Foods.
And I always say a disclosure is I'm no expert at this stuff. It's my opinion.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not either, and never will I claim to be. But you know, I do grow enough food to at least share how we do it, and people want to try it that way, they can.
Yeah,
sure.
And also, then I'll say I am no expert. This is my opinion. That's it. My opinion. You can be wrong. I don't need nobody here to debate me in a chat. You wrong, Michael. You wrong, Farmer Q. That ain't correct. I ain't here to debate with you. I'm here to just say that's your opinion.
Yeah, people get dogmatic about ways of doing things. I don't.
You call it yam. He calls it a sweet potato. Why you arguing? It's the same plant.
Hey guys, the wife's calling me. I got to get out.
Oh, we
me too,
right.
Guys.
He got 2 minutes. He got his 3 hours. He good to go.
I really appreciate you guys jumping on. It's nice to get to know you a little bit better. Continue this for sure. So,
hey,
take care.
3 times you're gonna see. Right now, I'm frozen. So hopefully by April, After April 20th, you will see me out there in that garden. I won't be
Me as well. Me as
Y'all
well.
take care. God bless y'all. Stay
All right,
safe.
All right, guys. Thanks everybody else. Thanks Lori's World, Elizabeth's Adventure,
Later.
504 Greenleaf. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you next week.
Good night, Cody.
Yep.
Good night, Boots.
Peace.
Night, guys.